Alrighty guys, welcome back to Learning Fives. I am still Blasterboy, still joined here by Fekes. We are getting into game number 2 champ select here for 404 Coach Not Found and Team Ghosted. Once again, this is the gold and platinum bracket finals for the Learning 5 program for this session. And game 2, right now, 404 Coach Not Found looked absolutely fabulous in game number 1. I almost want to say flawless. They did die twice, so I can't really say that, but they were very, very close.
I don't have near as high standards as Blaster Boy. They look flawless to me, and I'm really anxious to see what they do. The Rise is banned out, taken away from Hayam Gosu. That was a huge factor. Rise had so much power, and not to mention it was because Blakeness helped him out by camping, getting the first 2 kills, I think maybe 3 kills, at least the first 2 kills of the game, onto Black Belt Jax Victor. So not going to have the Rise there to try to scale up and skyrocket as early as possible. Nasus and Shaco also banned out along with the Vayne. I think pretty sure those were same bans as last time. Rise so far is the only change, and that's a purely reactive ban. We're going to see what the last ban of 404 Coach Not Found is here.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense for 404 Coach Not Found to not make any changes. These are the same 3 bans last time, and it makes a lot of sense to see the Rise ban come out. It seems like hyper carries, based on the Vayne ban, is something that 404 is very comfortable on. So it makes sense to see that taken away as well, because they had the Twitch last game too. The Twitch was pretty strong overall. Definitely not the most impactful member, because Blakeness and Hayam Gosu just did so much work overall, and even Black Venom in his own right as well. However, it looks like was skipped there.
That's
interesting decision.
Yeah, they are the ones that really need a ban. I don't know. I'm not sure why they did that. I'm thinking it's a mistake. We may have another remake, but we're gonna find out here because it's not remade yet. And Overvoid is actually going to go on the Poppy as opposed to the Trundle this time around. So had some trouble against the Poppy last time. Going to see if he can one-up his counterpart Black Venom. See if he can play that Poppy a little bit better, maybe even to the same success. Because if he does, then that means that he's going to do quite well in the top lane. Meanwhile, Blakeness going with a Heck Run this time. Huge amount of dive and a lot more presence, in my opinion, than a Vi.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm hoping that... Well, Blakeness should be able to have a similar impact on this Hecarim as he did with the Vi. And Hecarim kind of zones out a lot of immobile picks, even more so than Vi, because Vi is really just kind of... I almost want to say like an R-bot. She R's in and she dives in with her ult, and that's a lot of what she brings to the table. Hecarim can engage other ways other than just pressing R. He brings a lot of damage to the table as well. He's built as a diver. He's not like an intermediate brawler or something like Vi can be in some situations. So you basically never want to pick like a Jhin or Ashe versus the Hecarim unless you're very, very much confident that you can shut him down or you have a support to enable that further. All these locks are coming in so quickly. The new LeBlanc is locked in here, Fekes. This time for Black Belt Jack, TF locked in to counter, but the Skarner for Octavia is very good at farming, enables quite a lot of ganking potential as well. I really like this pick. It can shut down any of these given divers very, very well. I think this is super smart.
Yeah, and especially with Hayam Gosu picking a squishy champion, which, by the way, he picked it into the LeBlanc. LeBlanc,
yeah,
obviously, I mean, what she's known for, destroying squishy targets, making it a 4v5 within an instant. We're going to see if he can do that when LeBlanc got a few changes with this patch. So a little bit different of a mechanic. Has a lot better wave clear now. So I think that's going to factor in huge because now she can actually keep up with pushing against a TF. Very interesting what they're going to do here. Shiny Pantsu, though, going to lock in the Jhin. Me IRL. Maybe going to the Karma, possibly. At least hovering over. We'll see what he does. Yeah.
It seemed like a lane that they were pretty comfortable with last time. Honestly, they went toe-to-toe with Milkshake Mac and KDR on the Twitch and Janna, and they will lock it in again. It's a lane that meshes incredibly well, I feel like I said last time, and it just adds a lot of extra protection for this Jhin. There's really almost no reason to not go for it here. So now we're going to see a Thresh hover. I like that 404 are pushing themselves here. These are 5 different picks across the board, all new picks. This is great for 404 because if they still win with this, they show that those weren't just comfort picks. That wasn't just like a sort of a fluke game last time where they just got a perfect storm of a composition for each of their individual players. They can show that they're actually really, really skilled and they can push themselves to learn even more. And I think, honestly, being learning 5s and all, I feel like that's a very important aspect of these matches as well. Pushing yourself to the limits and learning your limits is something extremely important to improve as a player. And 404, they're looking to improve themselves as a team here.
Yeah, and let's emphasize that too. I mean, this is the finals. 404, they steamrolled the first game, and if they steamroll the next 2 games, let's emphasize this is a learning experience. So take what you can. You can look at these games, go back, played back. That's why we're streaming them. It's actually it's going to be very helpful for all the players. And yeah, I agree. I love when teams dominate with one type of comp and then go to a completely different type. It's, I mean, for me as a caster, it's just entertaining, but yeah, it also shows versatility and also just, it's almost like, it's also like a psychological message because, you know, League of Legends, it's more than just, you know, more than just playing better on the Rift. It's also a head game sometimes. When you can tell, you can show that you can be that versatile, come the 3rd game in the pick and ban phase, you wonder, what do I do as a team? And that might, they might be looking to tilt Team Ghosted even more. We're going to see how it shapes up here. I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, I can't wait to see specifically how this LeBlanc performs because I've seen a real lack of assassins in overall with this patch so far. I really wish that more players were playing them, and LeBlanc is very similar to how she used to work, really. How she performs hasn't really changed at all, just what she can do. She has a few extra tools available now. For example, her ult has no mana cost still. She now creates a clone every time she ults. She can create a clone of herself anywhere on the map that throws her most recent spell at the nearest champion while walking at them. So you can fake ganks just straight up, and I cannot wait to see how this is used by Black Belt Jack. If it is at all, if Haidam Gosu just crushes this lane again, I wouldn't necessarily be disappointed to see 404 pull off a great clean win again, but I really want to see how this LeBlanc works overall in an organized match.
Yeah, and of course, I'm always interested to see the new kind of meta picks like that, especially when they've been changed. Like you said, LeBlanc, the idea is still the same, but a little bit different. Like I said, a lot more wave clear before as well nowadays too. So it's going to be interesting to see how Black Belt Jack plays this LeBlanc. And we're going to see if Blakeness again camps the mid lane. It worked really well last game. And Haidam Gosu on the Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate can scale up quite well, nicely too with items. Get an early Lichbane, just get some of that extra power in his arsenal. He can be a devastating force on the Rift with his cards. And that's another thing we should talk about too. They have a lot of lockdown on the side of 404. They have Hecarim, they have even traps, they have Twisted Advance, Hook, Gold Card. They have a lot to pick with right now.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. Plus, they have a lot of global mobility too with the Maokai teleport, with the TF ulti. I really want to see how both of these comps pan out. I'm excited about a lot of the picks for Team Ghosted, but I also want to see 404 perform. I want to see how 404 performs overall on a different comp. We will be right back. We're going to a very short break while we load into this game, guys. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
As the sun steps down and escapes the day, we'll calmly walk away from the fray. When structure falls and all else fails, we will build it once again.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back onto the Rift for game number 2 between Team 404 Coach Not Found and Team Ghosted. So, very different comp here for 404 overall. Again, really want to see, just to reiterate, how they perform on 5 different picks with a wildly different type of composition as well. I'm excited to see the potential come out here. Potential is a dangerous thing, though, as CLG has proved time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, technically a potential, yes, but we're gonna see what actually happens here, and I'm really excited because this top lane is gonna be really interesting as well. Black Venom on the Maokai. In your opinion, what do you think of a Maokai against a Poppy? Because I see so many Poppies. Maokai hasn't really been in the main meta as much lately.
In this current state, I feel like Poppy just ends up pushing Maokai around quite a bit. It depends on how he builds and how well he's able to play this type of pick, obviously. But that's really a factor with every game. Overall, I feel like the Poppy just crushes the Maokai here. I feel like she pretty decisively wins this matchup. She's just going to be pushing him around for a very large amount of this game, and we're seeing an interesting start here. The Skarner actually starts at Raptors, while the duo lane briefly pulled the red buff from the looks of it, but they just let it reset. They leave. That's not part of the script, the plan here in the early game for Ghosted, but still an interesting jungle start. I want to see where he goes from here. Starting at the Raptors, extremely odd. Buff starts are supposed to be king right now. We see a little bit of trading in these lanes so far.
I mean, he does get that level 2 off of the Raptors, so there's that. He's going right to Wolves, so yeah, it's still interesting because I guess he'll have the buffs longer, but it's still interesting. I'm anxious to see how this works out. But yeah, typically you see a lot of damage coming out there in the mid lane with Sigil Malice, but yeah, typically we do see the buff starts first, and that is what Lakeness is opting for. Went for the blue buff, the Gromp, and now to the Wolves. And he's going to be, I believe he's going to be meeting Octavia still in the top lane around the 3.5 minute mark. It looks like they're both maybe on time still. Yeah, Octavia is not going to have a red buff to gank with, though. So yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. I'm curious, again, as to see where he goes next. Now he's taken blue buff and Gromp, and he is just continuing through this path, and Overvoid is just getting pushed around by Black Venom here. This is not what I expected to happen in this lane, but the level lead from Black Venom just playing the lane a little bit better early on, and pushing just a little bit faster than this Poppy can really stand to. That's one way to get a lead, certainly. Pushing that level advantage that you're able to get just from pushing the creeps a bit faster, just from hitting them more often, having more AoE, etc. This will likely turn when it comes down to straight 1v1s, or Shiny Pants are going to get hooked up.
Yeah, very nice death sentence on that one. The trap's not quite there, but the damage is a lot of damage put onto Shiny Pantsu, so he's going to have to back off, going to underneath the turret, pop his health pot, and that is the advantage going over to 404. 404 Coach Not Found. They say they don't have a coach, but it looks like they are being coached very well in these lane matchups. Very impressed. Shove against the wall in the top lane for the Poppy. Oh, another hook on the bot lane. This time the traps is there to have to at least divert me IRL to walk around the traps, get that extra auto attack. Very nicely played. Black Venom, he's in trouble. He's got him shoved against the wall twice now. He needs to be careful. Cannot afford too many of those against the walls. That's a lot of damage being thrown down, and yeah, he does have 2 health pots though, so he's going to be popping one of them.
Yeah, and this is the sort of 1v1 situation that I feel like Poppy will really beat this Maokai in. When they're just dead even, the Maokai is just going to lose these fights constantly because he doesn't have... As a champion, Maokai doesn't really have a lot of damage that he can deal specifically to tanks like Poppy does. Poppy is a very weird tank in that she can also deal with tanks pretty well, similarly to Trundle, and we saw that come out very much on top in the last game, and it seems like it's going to continue here, but swapping sides a little bit. The lane is still pretty even at the moment, but again, if we look at just the health lead, Black Venom is kind of getting crushed here. Whoa. Lakeness.
Yeah, Blakeness with the ghost being popped into the mid lane for the gank. Did get a flash out of Black Belt. But it's not too big of a deal for LeBlanc. Still has the distortion to rely on as an escape, but needs to play that a little bit more wisely now. Another hook, third hook on the bot lane. This time, Shiny Pantsu, he does get onto a trap. Exhaust gets thrown down on the Milkshake Mac. Shiny Pantsu has to get out of there. Still has his flash, still has his heal. Played it cool. Did not panic, knew he could get out, but he does have to go all the way back. He's actually down quite a bit of CS, so this is a huge advantage for 404. Coach Not Found.
Yeah, and in spite of this lane of Karma Jhin being pretty strong in my opinion, the Caitlyn Thresh just has way more kill pressure overall. The Caitlyn can just sit back and safely trade where the Jhin can't contest. She can also zone people off of CS like we're seeing, and that's what this lead has really come from here. And the Thresh kill pressure as well is also zoning potential. Plus, we nearly saw Shiny Pantsu even go down while being zoned, while also being down in CS. So this is just a really strong laning performance once again from 404 Coach Not Found.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can talk about lane matchups all you want in the bot lane, but when you're going to land 3 hooks and walk onto a trap of one of them, I mean, the lane matchups almost don't matter. The damage is going to be there for anybody who gets that combo off. So it's just way better lane presence from 404 Coach Not Found. They're doing an incredible job in that bot lane, despite matchups. And yeah, like you said, I like Karma, I like Jhin as a duo, but man, when you get those hooks landed onto you, at that point it doesn't even matter. So that's exactly what they're proving in the bot lane. 49 CS at 35, and now Milkshake Matt coming back with a BF sword at before 7 minutes. This is going to be huge for him.
Yeah, and that's just purely off of CS. I mean, he's still up about 15 CS, give or take. This is just an incredible lead, and it's similar to the fight that we saw early on in the top lane, Black Venom. A lot of their leads have just come off of being better in lane. And that's happening in the mid lane too. Hayam Gosu is up about 10 CS over Jack here, and it's just purely off of laning prowess. Blake doesn't even have to do anything.
My God.
And the hooks again.
Just amazing. And we landed a hook onto Karma this time, but a lot of damage going on to Shiny Pantsu as he tries to retaliate, but he is in no position to retaliate, especially power-wise, with Milkshake Mac having that BF sword. A hook is going to mean damage no matter what, but we do see Octavia Medley into the bot side, but so is Blakeness. There's the ult after the Lantern. First blood going over the Milkshake Mac, very well deserved. Now, Octavia Melody, level 6, not going to put the stinger onto anybody though. Doesn't have the advantage to do so, and now Shiny Pantsu needs to be careful. I don't think they're going to dive, but a hook could be a death sentence for sure. In the literal sense. Hayam Gosu also making his way to the bot lane. They may look to dive this.
They very well could. I feel like the Thresh, or maybe not even the Thresh, but the Hecarim should be tanky enough in order to make that happen. Black Belt Jack roams top. Oh no.
It doesn't matter. Hold on, there's another hook on the bot lane. This time it does get the kill, but now Black Venom, he's gonna go down, but still gets a kill after the roam in the mid, from the top lane, from Black Belt Jack. So huge advantage in the top lane, despite dying. If you're gonna get ganked 2v1, it's best to get a kill. That's you're gonna trade something. That's the best way to do it. So a pause coming out may have some technical difficulties here. It looks like we actually have some lag issues.
Uh-oh. Yeah. That's a bit unfortunate. So while we wait for this pause to resolve, let's talk over the game a little bit more here at hand. So far, Hayam Gosu, while he hasn't gotten anything yet, technically, he hasn't assisted in anything, I still think not dying still makes it slightly better for him, since he is also getting farm as well, although it's a bit weird. Oh, there we go. The pause is resolved. We are back into action here. The kill from Black Belt Jack, though, is very, very valuable. Getting this LeBlanc rolling is important, and in spite of the death, it will still make a positive impact on this lane, I feel like. The CS discrepancy is still there, though, and that will still result in more than a kill worth of a lead, I believe. It's very close, at least, for Hayam Gosu at the moment, and I feel like these roams are just going to continue to come through. He didn't even ult down bottom to try to make that happen, so he didn't brute force it. Really, he has both of his summoners still. Black Belt Jack has neither at the moment, so it's really hard to say exactly which way this has gone. It's pretty even, all things considered, but Black Belt Jack just had a slightly better, more productive roam overall, I feel like.
No, I agree. I think we're gonna see that it's gonna start affecting it a little bit more if the roams continue in even the slight favor. It's gonna start to show a little bit more here as the game goes on, and yeah, I don't know. The gold lead is still pretty small, but 404, they're off to a good start. Like I said, especially that bot lane, which is now almost a 30 CS deficit, or spread, I should say, in favor of Milkshake Mac. Just doing incredible, not to mention 2 kills for him, looking to carry, and in perfect position to start doing that pretty soon.
Yeah, and again, the CS lead down bottom. At this point, the CS lead is almost even irrelevant. It's about a kill and a half on its own, but now there's 2 kills for Milkshake Mac as well. It doesn't even matter if the CS deficit existed or not. Overvoid maybe biting off more than he can chew here. I am Gosu caught as well.
I am Gosu, yeah, maybe doing the same thing here. Octavia Melody actually going to pick up that kill. Blakeness out of mana cannot take down Overvoid. Black Venom is also out of mana, and here comes the cavalry for Team Ghosted. Now Blakeness, he's going to go down. Octavia Melody, sorry about that, can't get that one out there. 2 kills in a matter of a minute there. And that Black Belt Jack also picking himself up a kill. So very nice comeback from Team Ghosted. Some shining hope on their team, especially in that jungle in the mid lane now.
Yeah, just a little bit too forced, I feel like, from Blakeness. There's a fight down bottom as well.
A lot of damage going on to me IRL, but both of them just going to back off. And the first blood turret gonna be taken in the top lane. This time going to Team Ghosted. They do get the first objective. I think this is the first objective in both games. I don't believe they picked up a turret in the first game at all. So they have improved. They thought about the from game number 1. I don't know if pick and ban was really improved considering they actually missed a ban, but they're playing better overall in adapting to what 404 is throwing at them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that their bans were too much improved. The Rise ban was definitely a good step in the right direction. Missing that last ban was very much unfortunate. Surprised to not see a remake off of that, but they were confident enough, I suppose, in some way or another to carry on with this game, to try out these new picks, the steal away pick from Overvoid of the Poppy, taking that away from Black Venom, and it definitely seems to be paying off right now. Here's a roam down bottom.
Oh yeah, Shiny Pantsu, he's gonna go down. Hi-Am Gosu, very nicely placed. Guys has to take the lantern out and barely makes it out alive. That last turret shot almost hit him in, but he had a shield from the lantern. And that was the only thing keeping him alive, is those turrets. They actually hurt a little bit more in this patch, so we're gonna see them do a little bit more damage than normal. Blakeness now, he's in the mid lane. He cannot 1v1 a LeBlanc. What are you doing? Black Belt Jack able to pick up that kill. Some kills in the bot lane and in the mid lane. Bot lane, of course, in the favor of 404. Mid lane, Black Belt Jack, he is doing pretty well on this LeBlanc so far. 3-1-1, 91 CS. And has a Rod of Ages started before the 13-minute mark. He's going to be scaling into the mid game pretty well here.
Yeah, I think the Rod of Ages is an interesting decision on LeBlanc. That might be the standard build on the new LeBlanc. I haven't done too much research on her, unfortunately. However, he is still delivering for sure. He's going to be pretty tanky. He's going to be pretty difficult to deal with overall. He's just going to be a super high damage threat in the end game, though. I feel like he's not going to even bother with Abyssal here. He very well may, and if he does, then this TF is going to have an extremely difficult time dealing with him, but that won't stop this Caitlyn, and that won't slow down this Hecarim at all. So in the long run, it won't do all that much for Black Belt Jack, but here's an engage on the mid lane.
Yeah, Hi-Am Gosu. I feel like everyone is hold on, gold card might actually save him here. There's the burn, the heal comes out from Milkshake Mac in the nick of time to actually save Hi-Am Gosu. So barely making it out alive, but I feel like people are underestimating LeBlanc's damage output.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, hold on. Octavia Melody needs to be careful. Gonna go down, hold on, no, does not go down. The shield gonna save him there. And there's the ace in the hole, not going to be able to connect. Octavia Melody able to make it out. Overvoid picking up Blakeness behind the turret. A vain dive trying to pick up Octavia Melody, who mean, for all intents and purposes, probably should have died there for that mistake, but
Yeah.
did not. And yeah, props to them, able to capitalize on that situation. Looks like they're going to rush up to the top, possibly pick up the Rift Herald here.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be surprising. It's a little bit surprising on its own with their jungler being so low, but with the type of a lead they have, an advantage on the map. And Gosu is the focus, though. Oh, man.
Burden Call is going to slow him down just long enough. No, oh, never mind. Okay, the Lantern, the Q from the LeBlanc still following the Lantern. I am Gosu going to go down 4-1-2 now on Black Belt Jack. I'm going to be paying attention to that one quite a bit here because I feel like Black Belt Jack's going to be the big factor in these these team fights for Team Ghosted.
Yeah, one of the hallmarks of a really good LeBlanc, I gotta say, is being able to convert this early game lead into something later on. Team fighting as LeBlanc is pretty difficult when it comes down to it. Here's a fight around the Dragon.
Yeah, speaking of team fight, Overvoid, he's gonna get in there pretty heavily here, but the Dragon does go over to Oxygen Melody and Team Ghosted, so KDR needs to get out of there. Deadly Flourish not gonna connect, but enough damage coming out from me IRL to pick up that kill. So it's a 2-for-0 and Dragon picked up all in favor of Team Ghosted. They are completely turning a 180 from that game number 1.
I don't want to rain on the parade of Team Ghosted here. Oh, actually, here's a big engage again.
Yeah, Black Venom getting put on the Stinger. Shiny Pantsu finishing that one off. They have so much damage here. Even as a big tank, you cannot be in the front lines when there's a siege and you have no wave clear. So a big misstep from Black Venom. And again, I'm really enjoying seeing Team Ghosted take advantage of those sorts of missteps. This is exactly what happened to him in game number 1, and now they're turning it onto 4-4, no coach found.
Yeah, and to their credit, Team Ghosted looked way better this game. The biggest issue that I'm still seeing with them here is, well, for one thing, worrying thing for 404 to start off is they are making a lot of mistakes this game. Blake just doesn't look nearly as comfortable in the hacker room. The Maokai is looking kind of shaky from Black Venom, and all of this could turn on a dime, really. There's still a lot of salvageable game here for 404, and they could easily turn this around and turn this into a 2-0. However, to not get ahead of myself here, the one thing that I'm worried about for...
Ooh!
Yeah.
The IRL getting
Poppy
caught by the hook. Yeah, Poppy all going down. Gold card gonna halt him in his way though. Gonna Flash being blown from the IRL. I want to get that out because that was a very nice hook from KDR, but even nicer placement of the trap, forcing that Flash out of the IRL.
Yeah, so to get my point out here before another fight breaks out, Team Ghosted have been getting kills and they've been getting picks and punishing the mistakes of 404, but they're not converting those into anything more. They haven't been able to yet. They've not been in a situation where they've been able to get 1 or 2 kills really at all. They've not gotten a lot of kills in bulk, really, aside from that one instance up top a little bit earlier, but they're not able to convert those into objectives. So even though it's 10-4 and it's looking like a similarly one-sided game, this time from Team Ghosted, like we saw from 404 last time, there's no objectives accompanying it, so it's only a 1,000 gold lead anyway. In spite of their good plays, in spite of the missteps from 404, they haven't misstepped enough to put themselves in a massive hole. Blake is burning the ulti just to get away from the Skarner there. An immense amount of respect, and that's a good sign for 404 because that's something they've been lacking this game for sure.
Yeah, and it's been putting them in some pretty precarious positions here. And I feel like a lot of that lack of respect is going against LeBlanc. They're really underestimating how much damage she puts out. Now it's a little bit too little too late. Has the Zanya's 6 stacks on the Rod of Ages. You said the Rod of Ages was a little bit interesting. I agree, but at the same time, if any CC, which there is a ton of CC, we talked about it before on 404, some of that CC she may be able to last out some of that crowd control with the added health from the Rod of Ages. So I guess I kind of see it. Yeah, I kind of see it. They do have a double AP on them with the Karma as well. So maybe not thinking she needs to go an extreme amount of AP. Maybe thought she could sacrifice a little bit to be a little bit more tanky and last through these team fights, and maybe a little bit of a burst, last through some of this burst as well. So Let's see how it pays off. But second turret of the game, second turret going down in favor of Team Ghosted here. That's 3 turrets all together, 1 to 2. So yeah, they're taking advantage and getting the objectives.
Yeah, and that was just now in that case, Ghosted did not need picks in order to facilitate an objective take there. That was just a sloppy roam from 404 overall. They ended up sending 2 extra people top when they really didn't need to. They were trying to go for Overvoid, but he just kind of walked out and ended up being a pretty large waste of time in the end for 404. And they lose the turret for it on top of it. So, further misplays from 404 overall. They're still looking pretty sloppy. I don't know what has happened to this team since the last game because they looked so clean. They won their lanes, they were decisive, and now they didn't quite crush their lanes like they did last time. They don't have a huge carry to work off of at the moment. Not somebody that's exceptionally far ahead in one particular lane, and they're just overall looking kind of lost. I don't think that you can really blame it on them not getting an advantage. I don't think that's the entire issue. They're just looking lost in general. As a team, they just don't look like they know what to do at the moment. And they're
Well, go on.
They're just kind of making mistakes and going for things that were very low chance of working out overall, and it's costing them.
Yeah, and it might be part of that cockiness that we were talking about earlier, but I also did mention in Champion Select, this isn't just a game of mechanics and things like that. It's also a game of mentality, and sometimes you put yourself on tilt. They steamrolled from the first minute in the last game. That's not happening this time. They may be wondering, like, why is this not happening? What did I do wrong? And it might just be getting a little bit caught up in their head.
Ooh.
That's part of the learning experience of this learning five, just trying to cope with something like that. But as I'm saying that, KDR is actually caught out a little bit. Curtain call coming out, not able to finish off anybody. And that is going to back off 404 from this Infernal Drake, though. So we're going to see if they can even try to contest that one, but it is started by Team Ghosted right now.
Yeah, okay, this is a good decision from 404. They decide, okay, well, there's no way that we're going to be able to contest that. If we throw the Hecarim in, that's what the Skarner is there for. It was touched on in chat before, and we talked about it a little bit in Champ Select as well. They instead decide to just go for the objective they know they can get. They know that they can get the mid-turret before the Dragon goes down, and they get it, and now they're pushing top. They're getting flanked by the Poppy, though.
Yeah, Maokai Black Venom is behind them as well, so it's not just the Poppy there. Overvoid may be getting a little bit caught, but Black Belt is there in their face with the distortion. No problem. Milkshake Mac, is he going to be able to make it out? Does not. Able to dish out some damage beforehand. It's a 1 for 2 right now in favor of Team Ghosted, and they're just cleaning up Black Venom on the run. Flash from Black Belt just to pick up another kill because, why not? You're LeBlanc. Snowball yourself even harder. And now, Octavia Melody try to catch up to the big horse, but I was gonna try to make a reference that 4 legs are better than 2. It's typical with Hecarim's usually taking on some sort of a humanoid in the jungle, but this time he's taking on a scorpion. That's not really the case here as far as the leg numbers. They don't really match up. But be it as it may, Blakeness is still on. Yeah, it's very unlucky. But yes, Blakeness still on the run. Octavia Melody and company now pressuring the top lane turret, turning those kills into objectives. The most important thing you can do. Look on the Black Belt underneath the turret. Can they capitalize? Not enough damage to follow it up, though. There, out. Yeah, Octavia Melody getting caught. He's going to go down finally. And that kill going over to Blakeness. 1-3-3, picking up the first kill. And now, I Am Gosu is going to shut down Black Belt Jack. May have been worth to get that global gold over to your team. Anything does help at this stage of the game when you're starting to fall behind. So to give a kill over, but shut down the steamrolling LeBlanc.
Yep.
Looks like a lot of Baron. Baron's actually going to be started here, and that's actually a decent decision. You considering Octavia Melody is down, Black Belt Jack is down. Now, when I say that, Shiny Pantsuit does have Curtain Call up, which is what is being thrown up right now. Not going to be doing too much. KDR just picks up all of that, and I think this is actually going to be a Baron going over to 4-4. A very nice play by them.
Yeah, and this is just, again, they made their own two picks there.
Hold on, Blakeness. He might actually go down. No. He does get the extra health there on the end, so able to weather the Baron damage. Now, while this happened, Overvoid was able to take out the bot lane turret. So as you said, when one objective is being taken, you can't contest it. Go take another objective. Overvoid picked that one up nicely. At least got some sort of retribution for that Baron. So it's not free. They did give up something.
Yep.
It's 14 kills to 7 in favor of Team Ghosted, but the gold count is only 1,200 away. And now 4-4, they have the Baron. This might be just what they need to come back into the game.
Yeah, and I mean, with securing that turret by Overvoid, they do maintain their gold lead, but it's still very, very small. It's only 1,100 gold, and like, I mean, just the Baron buff on its own can result in thousands of gold flowing in for a team if they play it well. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like 404 would be in the best spot to take advantage of that at the moment, but they have so much time. They're going to get this top turret now, so that alone will close that gold lead and even give them a bit of an advantage. Oh, actually, no. They're just slightly behind. Now they're 200 gold behind. They're still pushing for more. This is still going to be a huge Baron power play for them as long as they continue their intelligent objective play that they had from last game. And they've had with the Baron and the mid lane church a little bit earlier, but this might be an engage to catch them out.
Octavia Melody gets the stinger onto Black Venom. That's not really who you want to get. ERL almost going down, but in the backlines there is a teleport Overvoid.
Poppy ult
now in
missed.
the mix. But so many blinking health bars on the side of Team Ghosted. And it looks like 404, they are comfortable right now. Black Belt Jack trying to flank from the side. Can't quite do it. Blinkness still has his ultimate up. Surprised he hasn't used it yet. And all the while this is happening, Ion Ghosted split pushing the bot lane. This is a 4-0-1, and actually it's working in the favor of 404. Nice hook coming out from KDR onto Black Belt Jack. There's going to be no LeBlanc surprises now, as they poured the last remaining part of the resources into that LeBlanc hook. So very nicely played by 404. They are now ahead in this game, taking 2 turrets on the outside and now going for an inhibitor turret. And I believe the hook actually just landed on a shiny pantsuit, but he's going to be able to get out of there. Meanwhile, I am Gosu taking the bot lane inhibitor turret. So that's 2 inhibitors exposed now, bottom and top. Huge power play from 404. No coach found.
And all of a sudden, this game just flipped on a 10. Now it's a 4,000 gold lead. Top inhib is down. This could be an incurring fight.
Oh, trap on there. Octavia landed onto the trap. Black Venom finally going down. Milkshake Mac getting put on the stinger, and now it is going to be Octavia Melody chasing down KDR. And yeah, with those curtain call shots, gonna slow him down just enough. Oh, there you go. Deadly Flourish, pin him down. Octavia Melody picking up that kill, but it's bittersweet right now because your base is absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, they lost 4 turrets for that, including an inhibitor, and they have another inhib exposed. Like, that was a fantastic Baron power play, just kind of out of nowhere from 404. They got... Okay, I'm going to make the call now that this has all happened and say that Hayam Gosu throwing his life away to kill Black Belt Jack earlier in that fight top lane was 100% worth it, because they were able to get the Baron off of that before they even were able to make all this stuff happen with that buff. I feel like it was already worth, and now it is certainly 100% worth it. But now the dragon is up. Members are healing from Ghosted, and they're just going to be able to pick this up no problem. Still no contest from 404. They could try to force a fight if they really want to, but it doesn't look like Ghosted is going to allow it.
No, Talisman Ascension popped. They're going to get in, get out, take the objective, and just do what they can. So this is something to point out, that they actually have 3 out of 3 dragons. So if the game goes on long enough for Elder Dragon to appear...
Oh, Jack.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, Jack actually. Hold on. Jack is good. Jack is good. He is distorted out. No problem. He actually has Flash available as well. But while that happened, inner mid lane turret goes down in favor of 4-4. No coach found. So they're just picking up more and more objectives. Just pushing back, bullying Team Ghosted. It's getting to the point where Team Ghost looks like they're not sure what to do. They were winning earlier, and now it looks like all right, well, our team fight's not working anymore, guys. Like, why is this happening? So, it's not over yet. 3,000 golds does separate these two teams. 4-4, they are in the lead, but as you can see, they are still down. They still have less than half of the kills of Team Ghosted. Black Venom, he's brought into the base. Locked down with those Emerald Chains, but Black Belt Jack, he may actually go down here. Zonia's out, still goes down. Explode up the ultimate from Black Venom. So they poured everything into Black Venom, and that's the thing, you can't do that at this point in the game. He is a tank, so you cannot do that. You have to get a squishy. Putting in the big tree on the Stinger, not the good way to go. Hayam Gosu, a little bit too close for comfort onto Overvoid. Black Venom there, help him out a little bit. Meanwhile, the rest of 404, they're on the bot side. They're trying to pick up the inhibitor and actually do. Milkshake Mac, full health, no problem. I have Gosu, he's just poking down Octavia Melody. Black Venom is taking up everything here. And now, Shiny Pantsu, he was caught but able to flash out just in the nick of time. And now the rest of 404, they are going to try to clean this up. KDR actually finding himself in a bad position, does go down. Shiny Pantsu, he's dominating, to his credit, 626, but his base is still being destroyed. And this is the big point. Objectives a little bit more important than kills, and we're seeing that to a T right here.
Yeah, this is just still looking really, really good for 404. Now they're in the position where they can find fights, and they can get exactly what they want. They excel at splitting engages. Blakeness might die here, though.
I think Blakeness is going to get poked down just little by little. It's like one of those little gnats that smacks you, and then you realize, oh my god, this thing actually hurts. So actually, let's go down. He was full health when all that transaction was happening, so kind of underestimating, again, LeBlanc's damage.
Yep. And this is such a defensive build from the LeBlanc, but it's just not meaning all that much, honestly. The Abyssal is there now. It didn't exist before, so he's going to be much tankier versus Hayam Gosu, and he's going to be able to cut through a bit more of that MR, but Overvoid might be caught out here.
Now, one thing about those plants, let's remember about those plants, whenever you take one of the fruits, you actually slow down.
Yep.
So while it heals you, you're getting in a worse position. Octavia Melody, there with the ultimate available, not going to use it.
There's actually a clip of that on Reddit yesterday of somebody popping the honey fruit as they ran by just to slow down the enemy team so they couldn't engage.
Yeah,
it's
actually a fantastic plan.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful plan. I mean, I think I've told you, but I'll tell the stream. Also, you've seen a Rengar try to get away from the enemy team and actually use the exploding plant to jump to, and it just exploded him back into the enemy. So
yeah,
how you got to use those plants? You have to use some tactics and actually think about those plants, because sometimes they can be used heavily in your advantage, or they can just doom you.
Yep.
And it made me laugh, if anything. But the Rengar is naturally on my team, so we lost that game. Things happen. What you gonna do?
Yeah, so, okay, pulling back a little bit for this game, it's still, KDA-wise, it's still looking a bit shaky. It's still looking a bit shaky for 404, but gold-wise, they're in a great position. Objective-wise, they're in a fantastic position. If you ignore the Dragons are not looking good for them right now.
No, the Dragons have been totally and 100% controlled by Team Ghosted, and the next Drake is the Infernal Drake. They actually already have one Infernal Drake, so that extra power spike will help them tremendously. And if they're able to get that, that means that they can stall the game out to where Elder comes up. They can win team fights. Elder will be a huge factor with 4 Dragons on top of them, but looks like the Baron is up, and so far, the whole area is being controlled by 404. They are not letting anything through. Nice placement of traps, and now the Baron is started. Black Belt Jake, he is there being cooked though. Now he is going to go down. Everything being thrown at him. Milkshake back, able to pick up that kill on Melody in the mix, along with Overvoid, flipping the stinger onto Milkshake Mac, takes down the big powerhouse of the Caitlyn on the side of 404, but it's still going to be a huge uphill battle for Team Ghosted. There's Twisted Fate pulling out the ultimate, locks down me IRL, and actually going to possibly get a kill here. He's trying to run away, flashes over, but the red card rather follows them. And with the Lich Bane proc behind that, that is going to be a huge amount of damage killed going over to High on Ghost. So that was a 1-for-3 altogether in favor of 404. And now they're advancing onto the upped inhibitor into the top lane. Going to try to put even more pressure on this base.
Yeah, I can't personally say that I blame Ghosted for throwing so much onto Milkshake Mac, as he has been such a huge deal in this game, but Shiny Pantsu will just go down. This inhib is still the focus for Blakeness at the moment. This could get sketchy though with LeBlanc respawning.
KDR, he's going to go down. Melody, Octavian Melody, just kind of hanging out, doing as much as he can, sticking to Blakeness, and now Black Belt Jack is there, trying to dodge and weave. There's a flash. Black Belt Jack, are you going to have enough? You do, with the Ethereal Chain connecting on that last second. But still, once again, I'm going to emphasize damage done. They have one Nexus turret left. They have the mid inhibitor and mid inhibitor turret left, and that is it. Baron is up. They may want to try to do a power play here with 3 members down off of 404.
Yeah, this is almost, this is their best option, their best opportunity for that at the moment. With the jungler down in Blakeness for 20 more seconds, there's no way he can contest this. This has to be a contest elsewhere, coming from someone else, but they just can't do it. Instead, they just decide to send Milkshake Mac down to take that Infernal Drake, so he'll be able to pick that up pretty solidly all on his own, actually with the help of I Am Gosu, but overall, it looks really, really good. All of a sudden now for Ghosted, they've kind of flipped this game a little bit with the Baron buff, with those picks, some overstepping from 404. This, again, kind of worrying, a mistake we didn't see last time. They pressured perfectly last time, and now they could potentially be on the back foot. The gold is still slightly in their favor, however.
Yeah,
and they still have a map pressure lead too. They're still warding this deep into the enemy jungle.
Yeah, that's the real interesting part. This gold is almost even. I believe Azania's just was popped there as well. I'm not sure. I think that was maybe possibly a misclick. I heard the oh yeah, Shiny Pantsu may be getting caught out here, but actually looks like Black Venom may be getting caught out. Has to take the Lantern Fresh Express to get away. But yeah, as I was saying, the gold is still relatively even despite how this game is going, and it's purely because the early game team fight, the kills were huge for Team Ghosted, and since then they've been losing large team fights and the large objectives, but getting so much on the back end of that. As 404 is escaping, they're picking up the stragglers, so they're taking advantage of what they can. Hold on, we have another engage here. Overvoid just getting into the mix, going right onto Milkshake Mac, along with Curtain Call, able to pick him up. Shiny Pantsu getting that one, and there is knocking back over Black Venom all the way to the back lines with Blakeness ultimate. Yeah, Blakeness, he's in the bot side. He does have Triforce, so he can do a little bit of damage to these turrets and inhibitors, but not enough. Has to actually ghost out of harm's way there, taking the Lantern to safety. And we're back to kind of a standstill. The base of Team Ghosted wide open, but 404, they cannot capitalize fully yet.
Yeah, like I said with the Baron, they're putting themselves at huge risk here. All of a sudden, it's a completely different game. High on Ghost caught out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You cannot be caught out. You're against a Black Belt Jack on LeBlanc. Right now, I mean, there's just so much potential to be just destroyed when you're a squishy player like a Twisted Fate, or a squishy champion like Twisted Fate. He had no business being in that position of the jungle.
Yeah, and with Black Belt Jack being so tanky, there's no way that this TF can kill him right now. I mean, this is a pure burst Twisted Fate at the moment, which isn't bad on its own normally, but versus a Roa and Abyssal LeBlanc, you're not going to kill that anytime soon without a lot of Magic Pen, and TF has none of it right now. Hayam Gosu is not in a great position itemization-wise, I would say, even though his build is coming together very rapidly here. Or very rapidly coming to a close here, as the game is nearly 40 minutes in. This game is pretty much dead even. This is kind of what I was hoping to see this game, rather, where both of these teams would go toe-to-toe. I did not expect 404 to pull back so quickly, though, and so decisively. But the Baron buff will be wearing off pretty soon. If we check here, it is like 5 seconds away from wearing off. So suddenly that will give 404 a window to be able to push in here, to go for more picked and go for more pushing, because now there's no buff advantage on the side of Ghosted.
And let's talk about these items for one moment. So we do see the redemption on Mini IRL. We don't actually see it on KDR. Instead, he has gotten the Knight's Bow, which is really, it's actually a really good item to throw onto Milkshake Mac, considering how much he's being focused and dove in these team fights. So it does give the extra 40 armor. Hold on. KDR, yeah, he's on the Stinger. He's gonna go down. Deadly Flourish is gonna lock him down. Who's gonna pick it up? It's Black Belt Jack. That is not what you need. There's a curtain call coming out, possibly just to try to get a slow onto somebody, but all shots are going to miss. So inhibitors are up from Team Ghosted now.
I'm curious about whether that was really worth it or not. I'm trying to decide, because if 404 doesn't push with their support down, which they probably shouldn't because they're at a numbers disadvantage, then that worked out fine. But no, never mind. Milkshake Mac is dead. Okay, I was worried about so many resources not being thrown onto this Caitlyn or onto the TF. I was concerned about the number of ultimates and spells that they used just to try and kill the Thresh, and it worked out anyway. So can't fault them for that. Now they're in a perfect position to push. This TF has to pull back now. The Caitlyn is 30 seconds away still. This is not really a great siege comp from Ghosted, but they can try to pull a dive here with the Poppy and LeBlanc. Here they go.
And they have a nice hook on to Shiny Pantsu, but no damage followed up. High on Ghosted not in position. Milkshake Mac dead. And now it looks like Void is in the mix as well. There's a hook onto Black Belt Jack. Zahn is being popped as well. Who is going to go down here? Black Venom going very low, has to flash out. And now I am Ghosted also flashing out as well. But he has full health. He still has Ghost available. Essentially a stalemate there. But mid lane inhibitor turret is still standing. Now this is the big factor here. Both teams are going to try to regroup because there's 20 seconds until the Elder Drake, and that is going to be huge for whoever gets that. Blakeness might be caught. He is caught. Never mind. There's no might about it. That is huge for Team Ghosted. Blakeness down. Octavian Melody, who's trying to chase, not going to be able to do it though. But curtain call, is it going to be enough? No, he actually flashes out. KDR now flash down, but Milkshake Mac actually is going to be caught out as well though. Shiny Pantsu, picking up that kill. Black Venom, tanky as he may be, he's by himself, which means he has no help. Double kill for Shiny Pantsu, and this may actually be the game for Team Ghost.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like it here. They have the momentum. They don't have the minion wave, however. So they will take that inhib. They'll take that advantage that they have, and it's still a locked down lane for them effectively. They still have their inhibitor turret remaining, so I mean, this is looking really good for Ghosted again. All of a sudden, now they're on to the Elder Drake 4-3 Dragon buff, so that they're definitely not going to be any pushovers with this buff themselves.
No, 3 Drakes. Yeah, that's going to be so huge for them. They are going to win these team fights hands down. And it's not that they haven't really been. Yeah, Baron's up. They haven't even been winning team fights. What they've been doing is picking off people. It's just been 4-4 being out of position time and time again. And Team Ghosted, to their credit, doing a great job capitalizing. They just got Elder Drake. They are starting the Baron now. KDR is there, as is Blakeness. They're going to try for a steal here. A lot of pressure coming around inside the Baron, around the Baron pit.
This is risky. It's a 50-50.
Oh, man.
Blakeness can get in here.
Hold on, Blakeness. There's the Baron. It is down, but it actually goes over to Team Ghost of Blakeness. He's on the Stinger. He is going down. Black Belt Jack picks up that kill. Now High on Ghost is being chased down. Gold card's Octavian Melody, but it's not going to help too much. There's the distortion and a flash from Black Belt Jack. And it's the inevitable death of High on Ghost. Unstoppable Octavian Melody picking up that kill. 8-1-15. Haven't even looked at that KDA. Doing fantastic this game, and that is going to be game number 2 in this best of 5 series. And going over to Team Ghosted, we are tied up.
Yeah, and this is looking really good for Ghosted. Maybe you don't want to jump the gun here. No, they are going to be able to. Yeah, I was worried that they might not hit the Caitlyn there for a second, but then they did, and that's the game. Both Nexus turrets will shortly fall. The Nexus turrets aren't really a risk or like a threat anymore due to the changes to those turrets. Now they are back to the bolts rather than the lasers. So, I mean, you can just dive them all day when you have a lot of armor. But regardless, that was a really strong looking game from Ghosted. 404 nearly closed it out. They were that close to winning that game, but they overstayed. That mistake really cost them the game. I feel like losing those two members, losing the Baron to follow up, extremely costly from them, and a mistake that we did not see last time.
No, it was a complete 180. Like the first game, 404 Coach Not Found steamrolled. The second game, not a steamroll whatsoever. In fact, 404 and Team Ghosted traded back and forth. We couldn't even tell who was going to win until the last 10 minutes or so. Very nicely played by both teams. Team Ghosted just coming out on top, and now, like I said, it's a tied up series.
All right, guys. Well, two strong showings from both of these teams. We have yet to decide the winner. Not even close, really. Still two more games at the very minimum at this point. So stick around. We are not quite done yet. We will be back after this very short break with game number 3 in the series between 404 Coach Not Found and Team Ghosted. Don't go anywhere.
When the colors fade and it turns to gray, we'll calmly walk away from the fray. When structure falls and all else fails, we will build it once again. We can climb high, higher than before, or we could stand by while it burns to the floor, though we cannot fly. We will build and the wounds will mend as we build it once again. And we can climb high, higher than before. We could stand by while it burns to the floor. We cannot fly. We will build it, the wounds will mend as we build it once again. We can climb high, higher than before. We could stand by while it burns to the floor. We cannot fly. We will build it, the wounds will mend as we build it once again. All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sand where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Alright guys, welcome back once again to Learning 5. This is game number 3 between Team Ghosted and 404 Coach Not Found. The teams have swapped sides yet again, and we are back to that match, first game rather, setup. So that means 404 is on the blue side and Team Ghosted is on red once again. Seems like the bans are remaining much the same. 404 does definitely have something to consider now that they have lost a game. They nearly pulled back again, and they look significantly stronger.
Yep.
And they looked very strong again, rather. Team Ghosted looked significantly stronger than in the first game.
Right.
It was still close, and that's going to be a LeBlanc taken away. So a lot of mid lane adjustment bans here with the Rise as well. And it looks like Ghosted decides that the Caitlyn is enough of an issue that they're going to take it away from Milkshake Mac.
Yeah, and that's actually surprisring because they dealt with Caitlyn so well last game. And yeah, that's an insta-lock of Zach. So, I mean, yeah, we're going to have some really, really long engages here. A lot of CC coming out already from 404 Coach Not Found. That's a huge first pick.
Yeah, and this was banned in the previous 2 games. The Caitlyn ends up coming in, I believe, in its place. So interesting interesting way that this panned out here. Skarner is going to be hovered again, and Poppy as well for Ghosted. So I mean, I can't really fault them for that. I don't know about the Azir pick. I can't fault them for the Skarner and Poppy hovers in this game, though, because they both worked out extremely well, and they both will be locked in. In the last game, they looked really strong, and they were kind of anchors for the team. Overvoid pushed back on Black Venom in that top lane, in spite of the early deficit that he ran into in terms of health. And Octavia went for the level 6 rush sort of clear, wasn't able to do anything with it, but then just powered up so quickly and was suddenly able to have a massive effect across the entire map. Zyra Twitch is the lock-in duo for 404 Coach Not Found. This is another different duo lane. The Janna is missing again.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming out already from 404 Not Found. The Zyra lock-in, really liking that as a support. They've been kind of timid on the supports, I feel like. Yeah, they went the Karma in 2 games, and yeah, yep. Janna in the first game. Yeah, just haven't seen that. I haven't seen a huge amount of damage coming out from them. I mean, obviously Karma does a little bit, but Zyra, that's a whole different story. That is a support you pick when you want to deal a huge amount of damage. Now, alternatively to that, there's a brand being already locked in. Me IRL, he is the support for Team Ghosted, but don't know if that's going to be a mid lane brand or even the bot lane support brand that we do see sometimes. So it's going to be a nice flex pick. We're going to be interested to see where that one goes. Black Venom does lock in the Gangplank, so even more damage coming out, more global presence as well. I want to stick with that global presence like they did last game. They used the TF instead, but this time they're going to use the Gangplank and Hayam Gosu hovering over the Yasuo. See if he locks that one in. That would be their mid lane pick if he does go with that one, and he is going to switch it to an assassin. Katarina, I'm excited.
I'm excited. We're both excited. This is exciting.
Very good. That is a good observation.
To expand a little bit more on this pick, I have played multiple games of the new Katarina. There's been successes and failures. Regardless of how this game goes, she is a ton of fun to play. If you enjoyed Katarina and if you have a decent mechanical skill level, if you like mechanically intended champions, Katarina is absolutely that. And she's so much fun to play, so much fun to watch. I can't wait to see how she plays out here.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I've yet to have the pleasure of casting a Katarina. Have seen a couple in my games, of course. Interesting mechanics with the daggers. We're going to point on that one as it happens in game. But we do have our team set out, and that is going to be Hayam Gosu going against Black Belt Jax Victor, who he actually played in game number 1, and it was on a losing side. So we're going to see how that one pans out, see if he can recover from that one. Shiny Pantsu sticking with the Jhin this time as well. So not too much changed on the side of Team Ghosted. do have the Brand and now the Victor being thrown into the mix with the Poppy and Skarner and Jin. So gonna try to repeat the success with a little bit of tweaking there.
Yeah, and I mean they were kind of forced into these tweaks a little bit. The Brand makes a lot of sense versus the Zyra, I feel like, because he can do similar amounts of damage in the support role as the Zyra can, although he brings more situational CC and only single target CC occasionally, really, if he's able to hit that sear onto an Ablaze target. So it's a little bit iffier than the Zyra, I feel like, but the damage certainly still there. That's what this support pick is really for. There are very few tanks in this game. We're only seeing 3 tanks out of 10 champions.
Yeah.
There is so much focus on Blakeness here. He has to show up on this Zac, because if he falls behind and he's not able to get tanky, then this comp overall I feel like will just kind of crumble. Since there are 2 tanks on the opposite side from Ghosted, they are much safer and much more thoughtful about the type of about who can take damage, who is dealing damage, and keeping those damage dealers safe. Whereas on the opposite side, this is through and through completely 110% all in from 404. The Zac dives in, there's no more tanks to peel. The Zyra can kind of peel, I guess. You can zone with the Gangplank barrels and stuff, but all of these champions can work really, really well in follow-up, and not so well, aside from the Zyra and maybe the Gangplank situationally, at peeling. The Zac is not going to be peeling. He should not be peeling unless they're just getting completely crushed, in which case you should just be counter-engaging instead. There's a lot of ways for this composition to win when they can go in and get their way, but if they don't get their way, which is very much possible with the Skarner counterpick to the Zac and the Poppy counterpick to the Zac, both of them can deny or heavily punish the engage from the Zac. So super risky here from Blakeness, I feel like, and this is again a lot of focus from 404 onto this jungler of theirs.
Right, and yeah, like you said, definitely going to be relying on Zac to set these up, and there's no peel from Milkshake Max, so has to take advantage of that stealth and keep his distance, use that spray and pray to stay in the back lines. We're going to see how that one turns out because the timer is counting down. We're going to be on the Rift pretty soon. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest here with Blaster Boy. This is the finals of the Learning 5 between 404 Coach Not Found and Team Ghost. It is a 1-1. This is game 3, tied up right now. So we'll be back in just a moment on the Rift, and don't go anywhere. We are back on the Rift. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest here with Blaster Boy. as we get into this game number 3. Pretty tight series so far. First game we saw 404 Coach Not Found just completely steamroll Team Ghosted, and then the game after that one, it's like Team Ghosted, they adapted, they worked together very well, they had a little bit better of a pick a ban phase, and they turned it around. It looked like they could have lost it a few times in that first game, but they actually brought it back, able to pick off 404 enough times to bring take down enough objectives to just close the game out. So I'm gonna see if they can do it again, or see if 404 can repeat their success from the first game. But right now they're standing over reward, so they're definitely not going to get the jump on anybody.
Yeah, certainly not here. And something that people were just talking about in chat that's worth bringing up for the whole stream is the cat pick came in last for 404, the latest that they could possibly pick it. And everyone, just about everyone, 4 of the 5 champions on the side of Ghosted have a way to stop her ulti. Cat is not as ult reliant as she used to be, I wouldn't say, but she is still definitely ult reliant, and that is going to be huge. She absolutely needs to bide her time to wait for a perfect setup or a near perfect setup. The goal with the Katarina rework, and I feel like they did this pretty well, is they wanted to reduce the difficulty of finding that perfect engage where you just pentakill people, but they in turn increase her difficulty as a champion. She requires more pre-planning and more setup and more awareness, but it's much easier when you have all of those things down to a science to find the proper opening to go in and get a pentakill. It's meant to happen much more often, and her damage is certainly there with this rework. So I really want to see how Hayam Gosu can perform on this. Versus Victor, his lane is going to be exceptionally rough, and Cat does not lane well, did not lane well, still does not. Black Venom.
Whew.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of damage early on against Black Venom. So the Poppy proving a little bit more powerful than the Gangplank early on. If anything, Overvoid knowing Poppy a little bit more than Black Venom possibly knows Gangplank. It's that's way too much damage to really tell. Hayam Gosu going back in, needs to be careful. But he's some damage down onto himself, yeah. Pantsu gets some this is the beautiful thing about Twitch, is you can just poke and poke and poke with the true damage from his passive.
Yep.
It really starts to add up after a while, especially when you use the expunge. You don't really have to poke him with your auto attacks. You can do it from afar. Really, I really like the way Twitch is right now.
Yeah, I mentioned this to you yesterday. I was a big Twitch player about a year ago, so I certainly appreciate changes that make him stronger, but with his current iteration, with these somewhat minor changes in the patch, he is definitely in a much better spot than he used to be, I feel like.
So it looks like not too much going on. Milkshake Mac and KDR, both, all 3, well, I guess technically this is the 3rd game. They've kept the bot lane of Team Ghost to just push their turret almost non-stop. They want to deny them as much farm as possible, and so far they haven't been punished as much as I thought they would have from the enemy jungler. Octavia Medley hasn't really been in the bot lane. Like you said, he's trying to do that rush to level 6 jungle run. So hasn't really been focusing too much early on any sort of lane, and it might be something that 404 Coach Not Found knows about, which is why they're so comfortable pushing up for so long in all 3 games so far.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of matches played before this. Scouting is definitely a possibility. Oh,
yeah, he's gonna go down with the explosive passive of the brand from me IRL. So that's one reason why you pick a brand. You have a lot of damage. Now in the mid lane, Ignite does go down on Black Belt Jack, but that was not a kill. You might have overestimated the damage he had as a Katarina, but that is an Ignite down for both champions actually. Both Brand, Brand was in the bot lane. Sorry about that, the way it's lined up there. Got a little confused, but that is a Ignite down from Hayam Gosu's Katarina.
Yeah, so that severely hurts the all-in potential when this cat hits level 6 now. I think it was a smart choice nonetheless, though, or at least made sense. His goal there was to push Black Belt Jack out of lane entirely, and he knew that he couldn't trade back because of the lack of mana. He can only throw any one spell down at the moment with the mana values that he has. So it's incredibly difficult for him to make any meaningful return happen in spite of him having now a summoner lead. He is running just so low. Cat's just able to spam constantly here. So going for an all-in like that, I mean, really, again, same as Cat's always been, you're really only playing around cooldowns. So dropping the Ignite, trying to push the Victor out of lane, it didn't quite pan out. But I think the idea on its own, on the surface, made sense. But a bit of an unfortunate result for Hayam Gosu. We're seeing Octavia down towards the bottom lane here. Should be hitting 6 pretty soon. Another pause coming through. A lot of pauses in these past 2 games, really.
Yeah, seems to be some few connection issues here and there, but yeah, Dark Seal picked up for Hayam Gosu. That's an interesting first start. We're gonna see if that one pays off, of course. And totally going the snowball route. I think you mentioned that before. As Katarina does have a lot more of that team fight potential with the damage output. So definitely going to go for a huge snowball if that Dark Seal can be, stacked up in the early going. But meanwhile, there's not too much actually going on. So despite Black Venom actually getting bullied a little bit in the early going, up 8 CS right now. So not a bad lead in the early going at 6 minutes and 16 seconds. Junglers are about even. Both are at level 5, both 32, 33 CS. There's really not a huge difference here. Of course, in the bot lane, if we want to talk about differences, that is the biggest one, and I figured it'll continue considering just the track record of these games have been going.
Yeah.
With the aggression from Milkshake Mac and KDR, I assume that they're going to keep pushing on a Shiny Pantsu and maybe be a little more careful and hesitant of that brand.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we can hope to see happen. I feel like they will definitely be respecting this brand quite a lot more, continuing on with this game. As you said, 10 CS in this bottom lane, a trend that we've seen throughout all 3 of these games so far. It just seems like Milkshake Mac and KDR are just a bit better than Shiny Pantsu and MiIRL. They're not good enough. Similarly to, it seems like the rest of the lanes of 404 is they're not quite good enough to solo kill their opponents. They're not that much better, unless they just completely pop off or something, or somebody screws up. But they're good enough to get a CS lead, and they're good enough to follow up on their jungler properly and allow Blakeness to enable those types of kills. And so Blakeness fills a really important role on this team overall for 404. And it's going to continue, like I said, with this Zac. He's the only tank. He is the primary engage. The rest of this comp is really on his shoulders. And so he absolutely has to deliver. Both the junglers were looking to come bottom, but Octavia is now the only member coming down here. Instead, Blakeness goes over to the mid side of the map, but the gank bottom will actually not be attempted in the end.
At least yet, Octavia is level 6. Blakeness is not there yet, but it looks like probably will get them with the Krugs. He's picking those off right now, but yeah, Octavia Melody is just going to go back to base. Has 1,300 in the bank account, as does Black Belt Jack. He actually has 1,400. And let's look at these gold values real quick, because Shiny Pantsu has 1,700 right now. Has not went back, and is finally going to go back. I was going to say opted to stay and try to farm as much as possible and try to, even out that gap that Milkshake Mac has been creating this entire time. So Milkshake Mac coming back with a BF sword, and as is Shiny Pantsu, in addition with a long sword. So gonna have a little bit more power, but whenever you throw down a spray and spray, does give up that extra amount of AD. It might not matter too much.
Oh, Black Venom getting ganked here.
Oh yeah, Octavia Melody is there, has the stinger, and uses it first. That's not first blow, that is a kill. Going over to Overvoid. Now Hayam Gosu has to blow his flash along with Black Belt Jack, trying to pick up the kill in the mid lane, but Hayam Gosu cleverly getting away from that. And correct me if I'm wrong, Katarina, she cannot ward hop anymore, right?
Correct. She cannot ward hop. Instead, she can hop to her
Dagger
daggers.
hops.
Yep.
Yeah, dagger hops.
And-
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, so every time she picked up one of those daggers, by the way, so we can explain this rework a little bit more in depth, she will spin like her old W, basically, and do a lot of damage in the immediate area around her. So standing on a dagger is basically a death sentence. You can't squash it or anything like that. It's extremely dangerous to stand near or on one. And whenever she shunpos to a dagger, whenever shunpo is on cooldown, and she picks up a dagger, it reduces the cooldown of shunpo by a very large percentage. If we look at the moment, it is 84% cooldown reduction on shunpo. I had it at 98 when I played Cat, just in my second game of playing her. So it can scale really
Hold
high
on.
KDR.
KDR, oh man, that's a huge factor. So if you get hit by by the Seer and stunned down, you're going to be hit by Deadly Flourish as well. Me IRL able to just completely blow him up, and that is a huge advantage for taking a brand in the bot lane. You have a lot of bursts, and
Yeah.
404 Coach Not Found finding out the hard way, or specifically KDR finding that out the hard way, as he's died twice so far in that bot lane, both times to the Seer stun plus the Deadly Flourish combo.
Not like this.
Level 6, that does not change. Wow, a lot of damage going on Overvoid.
Yeah, this lane has not really turned too much for him. Again, from the historic matchup over these 3 games, in spite of the jungler focus. That was a beautiful kill onto Black Venom before, but it just didn't pan out as much as they needed it to. It just didn't work as intended in the end. The result didn't quite come through. I'm wondering if we're seeing sort of a TSM situation here from Ghosted. I know
TSM doesn't lose, that's the thing.
No, the TSM strategy, the tried and true, of losing the first game and then coming back and 3-0ing. I'm wondering if that's what we're gonna see here. They just kind of
Given
roll
that there's
over.
3 games to do that, because IEM proves that they don't do that also well. But, let's not talk about that, because like I said, TSM
That's
just
irrelevant.
doesn't lose.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
completely
exactly.
irrelevant. They're on an old patch anyways. Who cares? Yeah,
It wasn't even a good team. It doesn't matter at all.
it wasn't a good team. I agree, wholeheartedly.
I blame Doublelift personally for his. He didn't even. It was like he didn't even play in that series today. It was crazy.
I know. Jesus. So we do see Blakeness attempting possibly his first gank into the bot lane, but in the top lane, Black Venom, I should say. We'll talk about that in a second. Nice flash. Hold on. Flash in kind though from Blakeness, and here comes the Cannon Barrage. Now Spray and Pray coming out as well. Support's getting all the kills this game. As KDR actually picking up that one, and now Blakeness, he's under the turret. Turrets, they pop the blobs, so that's going to be a kill for Shiny Pantsu. Curtain Call coming out, not going to be able to find a kill though. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Overvoid diving into Black Venom underneath the turret. Needs to be careful. Took a few turret shots, but still got a couple of shots in on the Black Venom as well. And Black Venom, despite that pressure, still leading in CS. And with that parlay, that means he's pretty far ahead in gold as well. As he's 400, about 400 head in gold. Not as much as I thought, honestly.
Wow.
But of course, Overvoid does have a kill on his side. And so you see he's diving even more now. I am Gosu.
no.
Needs to be careful. I can't really be careful when you're stuck on a stinger though. So Black Belt Jack, they're gonna pick up that one. Team Ghosted, they're just turning around and devastating 404 Coach Not Found. This is incredible to watch.
Yeah, again, another strong performance from Ghosted, and all of a sudden Octavia just found his comfort champion. At this rate, even if 404 is able to pull this game back and turn it around and win, and again, to bring back a point from last game, the kills are coming, but the gold lead is not really there yet. It's still only 1K. They are kind of putting people behind, putting them on tilt, securing kills. They were winning the bottom lane before, but it's still not a huge gold lead. It's still not a huge CS lead. It's just not coming through. The results are not
They're not showing
what they
as
had
much
hoped.
as not showing near as much as they anticipated. And I
And that
definitely agree.
That is still concerning. I do think, though, that the Skarner will be seeing a ban next game regardless of the result.
Right.
The ultimate point. Black Venom Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's the flash out of the way. Stinger not available for Octavia Melody. I know I keep calling it Stinger. It's actually called Impale, but you know he shouts, "Get on my Stinger" whenever he does it.
Feel
So
my
I always just
sting?
call it
Yeah,
Stinger.
whatever.
Yeah, I feel my sting. Get on my sting.
Me IRL.
Hold on. Oh, Milkshake Mac. He is caught. He is going to be destroyed with the passive, but Blakeness is there as well. Here comes the teleport, though. It's going to be Overvoid getting it down in the bot. Double kill for Blakeness overall.
Oh,
He's
no.
also going down onto
Whoa.
Hayagosu. He still gets the kill, but it is still returned from the turret shot in the mid lane. Black Belt Jack picking up that kill, but Hayagosu finally gets a kill. Although, to be fair, that is actually a bad timed kill because it was after he originally got the kill, so he lost the stacks that he got on his Dark Seal already from that death.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate timing there for Hayagosu, but now this dragon is going to be focused with Overvoid down here. It's going to be extremely slow, and this top turret very well may fall for it. If it does, I mean, that's going to be a huge gold swing. Blakeness can steal this. He doesn't have flash, though, so this would be a sacrifice if he doesn't go all the way over the pit. He got it!
He got it! He doesn't even have to do that. It's such a nice play. The slingshot from one side of the pit to another, not going through, going adjacent, cutting out the getting the shortest amount of distance to safety. Such a nice play. Smite while in midair. Nice pickup from Blakeness.
And they're going to get the top turret too. It was a botched teleport from Overvoid. He falls further behind in CS. They get the top turret, solo gold on the first brick for Black Venom, and they steal the dragon. That could not have gone better, hardly, for 404. The only way they could have gone better is if they had clean 2-0'd the bottom lane, but then the dragon wouldn't have been attempted. It would have been a completely different situation there. So they made the best out of a iffy situation. They traded 2 for 2 down bottom. Hayagosu is insane here. He stole it!
He got it, and he's gonna go.
No, he didn't get it. He didn't get it.
He did get the kill, though. Onto the jungler, Octavia Melody, not going to be surviving that one. Gets a double kill, Cannon Barrage coming out from out of nowhere, as that's how Black Venom works on the gangplank. So 3 kills out of nowhere there, and now 4-4 are going to get this turn.
No, okay, not quite. Got a little bit too excited there. Hayagosu can't ward hop the wall.
Right.
Important to note. So he had no way of getting in over there, unfortunately, without flashing or something, which is not available, by the way. Ultimately, he did get the blue buff, so technically I was right before, but that aside, 404 suddenly pulling the game back out of nowhere. A few missteps from Ghosted, and now they've already doubled the gold lead that Ghosted had before with a huge kill lead, and they're not even caught up yet. Now they just caught up in objectives, and the invisible gold value of that Ocean Drake, getting that early, having that as your first dragon is incredibly powerful. 404 is in a fantastic position again, and this is kind of the misstepping that we saw from Ghosted in the last game, where they just made a few small mistakes and all of a sudden 404 was back in the game, but it happened way earlier this time.
Yeah, it's a very nice capitalization for sure. 2 turrets to 0, 1 dragon to 0. They're still down in kills though, which we saw that all the time last game, but this time it seems to be a little bit different as they are taking advantage of the speaking of 404, Coach Not Found, of course, they are taking advantage of the few kills that they have gotten. Just taking the advantage in the objectives as well here. Trying to siege into this mid lane. Black Venom is choosing to go to the top. I feel like no, never mind. He's gonna. All right, well, he's going in between top and mid. So I'm not completely wrong. I'm only half wrong. We'll see where.
Wrong.
Yes, he does have teleport up. Oh no, never mind. He does not have teleport up. He does have Cannon Barrage up though. Let's see where he goes. 4 stacks on that Dark Seal from Hayagosu now. So it's starting to come along, possibly a little later than you anticipated, but it is there. And the less that he's shut down, obviously, the more powerful he's going to be with that Dark Seal, especially once he turns into a Magi Soul Stealer. So they have to focus Hayagosu and keep him down, or else he's going to be out of control this game.
Yeah, Black Venom at this point is just... He is not entirely caught up by KDA, but the Parlay Gold and his CS advantage give him a 1,400 gold lead at the moment. And the turret as well. Oh, that's a bait.
Oh, nice denial from Overvoid, keeping Blakeness out. Now there's a flash. It's going to be taken all the way out back to his base. And now Black Venom, he is in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Melody is actually up in top lane now, putting Blakeness in a world of hurt. He does have his passive up. And now KDR is there, has the ultimate. Stranglethorn's being thrown down. That's going to save for the most part. Never mind, it's not going to save anybody. Blakeness able to pick up that kill. I'm sorry, me IRL able to pick up the kill onto Blakeness. Again with his passive. His brand passive coming in huge this game.
Yeah, certainly so far so good for this brand support right now. But across the rest of the map, Black Venom did not die there. He died earlier, but not in that instance. So he's still sitting pretty on this gangplank. We see that regen coming through from the Ocean Drake right now. He's nearly full health again. A combination of oranges and Ocean Drake really helping him out here. But Octavia has ult still. Bit of an early cleanse.
Yeah, Black Venom, he is going to go down, or is he going to flash over the wall? He gets out of the way. Curtain Call is available from Shiny Pantsu, but has no vision on Black Venom. Throws down a Deadly Flourish just to see if he's there. He is not. That was a very risky play from Black Venom. He has to blow his flash, but he does stay alive to live, fight another time in the Rift.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed by Octavia being so much more proactive so far this game. He's played really well, much better than he did in the first one, or even in the second game as well. The first game was very much strange compared to the Octavia that we've seen in the last two games. He's been very proactive with his ganks. He's been ganking very effectively. He's not just been solo farming or passive in any way. He's been pushing his limits on this Skarner, and so far it has delivered decently well. Ghosted are in kind of a shaky position at the moment, but the gold lead is still relatively small for 404. And now with this dragon coming up, both of the top laner teleports are up. Oh no, Jack, not in a good spot.
No, he is not, but Flash blown, that is his only escape, so he is going to have to be a little bit more conscious of what's around him. Maybe put down some wards, take advantage of those, because he cannot afford another time for Blakeness to dive in onto him, who, by the way, is sending auto ward, so not surprising anybody there. Looks like they are going to try to camp around the Dragon Pit, as it is now alive. Blue buff being taken by Team Ghosted. The Mountain Sorry, but that Mountain Drake is the next one up. We'll see if they decide who is able to contest that one, take it out.
IRL.
He is going to go down. Blakeness picks up that kill. And that was actually no assist. I'm going to point this one out. No assist for the High-End Gosu's Katarina. So no additional stacks on the Dark Seal, which I am very invested looking closely into that one, because that is going to be huge if not controlled. And I've mentioned it before, you can easily get it out of control if you don't focus on the Katarina. But we'll see what happens whenever the game gets into late game, because right now, Mountain Drake taken successfully. Both dragons so far taken by 404 Coach Not Found. 404 Coach Not Found. Sorry about that. Of course, the first one by that slingshot drive-by. Very impressive.
Yeah, man.
One for the highlight reel.
That was so beautiful too. Like, it was just so perfectly executed. There's, oh man, those are the things that you see in Reddit highlights, guys. That was incredible. Oh, Gosu!
Hold on, yeah, Gosu diving and gets the kill. He's exhausted though, and the turret is going to focus him. Octavia Melody does get the shutdown on that one, so Dark Seal back down to 2. That is not very good for High-End Gosu. A little bit too heavy on that dive and not enough follow-up. Blakeness could have possibly stayed in there a little bit longer. Does have his Let's Bounce available, but it isn't May. That is going to be the mid lane turret going down, and actually now a slingshot onto Octavia Melody. There's the Let's Bounce. Try to keep him in range as long as possible. Not enough shots from Milkshake Max Twitch to really be huge in that expunge damage, so he's gonna make it out alive. Just going to recuperate, possibly go back. Actually has 1,500 gold in his bank account right now, so there's a pause, and that's the logical conclusion to all of this.
Always.
Yeah, right.
Okay, going over, let's look at items real quick. So let's take a step back, look at those. I think the reason that Blakeness did not dive the turret there was his lack of armor. Right now he just has a lot of health and some MR to back it up, but not really a lot of armor to really keep that health intact. And, I mean, MR, completely useless against turrets.
Right, and I don't think he has his passive either. He just used it earlier.
Yeah, I can't even click on him. I thought I could change targets, but apparently not. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna live with it right now. Lots of armor pen coming through from Black Venom. He already has the Last Whisper, already has a Serrated Dirk for a little bit of lethality on top of that Trinity Force. So he is going for a I want to 1v1 this Poppy sort of build. He wants to ignore as much of that armor as possible, deal as much damage as he can to this Poppy, and just try to carry that way while also contributing to other fights, because that armor pen, of course, lethality in particular, is still just flat armor pen at its core. If you don't know, it gives you some flat armor pen and then some armor. I believe it's armor ignore, or like additional armor pen or something based off of your opponent's level, and that's the majority of lethality. So since it's based off their champion level, if they're a level ahead of you or something, then you're doing more than you technically should be, I suppose, is the best way to put it. Anyway, that aside, he wants to be able to deal with this armor stacking Poppy, and he also wants to just one-shot people later on. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Trinity Force coming out next, wouldn't be surprised to see a Duskblade at some point. There's a lot of different options for Black Venom right now as far as item builds go, I feel like.
No, I definitely agree. Oh, actually, let's jump on the items here. Over on the other side, Overvoid actually has the ZZ Rot portal. Haven't seen one of those all series. Of course, haven't seen it placed yet. Gonna be creating some sort of pressure in one of the lanes, of course, but which one Overvoid chooses is still yet to be seen. And it's gonna be interesting whenever he actually does place that, because we've seen so much control over objectives in this game that I'm surprised we haven't seen a ZZ Rot portal yet. It seems like a logical item based on the way both of these teams have played thus far.
Yeah, if either of these teams oversteps at an objective, or the team that has the Zizarot, in this case Ghosted, stalls an objective properly with the Zizarot down, then it can have a huge impact. The big thing at the moment is there's not really a best lane to put it down in. You can put it in either the top or bottom lane at this point, and you're pretty much fine, because neither of the turrets have died. The top one has taken damage, the bottom one has not. So I guess that is a slight advantage to put it top lane, but overall, there's not really a better lane to put it in here, so it'll be interesting to see what Overvoid decides on. It'll likely be in the top lane, just because it's furthest away from the dragon. It's going to be the hardest for them to properly commit resources to, and also commit to the nearest objective, but the Baron is also up at the same time, so if somebody gets picked, then there could easily just be an outright Baron take. There's not really been Baron dances this series so far, which is very interesting and very abnormal from what at least I'm used to seeing.
Right.
From two teams that like to take Baron like them.
And it's mostly been one team catches another one out, and then it's a decisive Baron. So, yeah, not too much on the dancing. We've seen a little bit of territory control, but there's really not that much, like you said, dancing, poke. One team starts it, another team dives, things like that. It's just been more, catch, decisive victory after that. So, yeah, we still have a couple more games to go.
Yes, there's certainly still time to see.
Yeah. And Triforce completed on Octavia Melody. Actually, he's had that for a bit now, going for the Bambi Cinder. And this is an interesting one. Has not upgraded actually chose the Triforce over the jungling item first.
Yeah, he actually did this last game as well. He was only sitting on, I believe, the Hunter's Talisman just on its own, and the Trinity Force with some boots or something similar to this current situation, this current build that he has on board right now. So this isn't something unheard of from Octavia Melody for certain. It is definitely out of the ordinary in general, though, and he is very low here, playing with his life.
Yeah, he just got smited by using Blakeness' smite, chilling smite, gonna slow him down. Black Venom able to catch up, pick up that kill, and now the Black Belt Jack going to be able to pick up as much as possible. There is a nice curtain call, taking out KD Argan as a 2-for-1 right now in favor of Team Gosu. Looks like Hayam Gosu decided to get out of there, trying to get a little bit of damage put back in. Milkshake Mac not touched. Oh, go back in. Hold on. Hayam Gosu. Very risky with that. Just walks right in. Going back in again. All right.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah, it is fun. But it also, you know, playing with death there.
Yeah,
Darkseal's not working. Darkseal's not working out for you. You don't want to play with death.
Yeah, definitely not. When you're only a 2
hold on, he's
Whoa!
gonna play with death. Hold on, he goes in, he gets a kill, but he's gonna die. And now his Darkseal is even lower. So, does get the kill on his shiny pantsuit. No one there with him. It's like there's no communication between him and his team. It's like, hey, I'm Katarina, I'm an assassin, I'm gonna go in, kill somebody, but then he dies afterward because the enemy team is expecting that. So, it is what it is. 5-4-0 right now. On Hayam Gosu, not the best KDA on the assassin, but as the game goes on, he's still going to scale as long as he doesn't die over and over again.
Yeah, and I mean, he still has a 300 gold lead over his lane opponent in Jack, so honestly, overall, all things considered, he's not in a terrible position. Definitely not in the snowballed 10-stack Darkseal fed Katarina position that he wants to be in, but nonetheless, still a decent point in this game. Already at 2 items at 24 minutes. That's not half bad considering he was in a lane matchup he should have lost. Like, he should have gotten absolutely smashed in CS, but he kept up and even kept ahead, even just by 3 or 4 CS in this lane consistently, and that's still coming through here as he's only down 10. He's going to be able to equalize that very, very quickly as this game goes on. I mean, there it is, right there. Equalized.
Just like that.
Just like
equalized. No problem, easy peasy. I mean, but yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it should have been a little bit more lopsided, but so far, hold on, a little bit of action going on in the bot lane. Black Venom, they've taken their fight from the top lane down to the bot lane as Overvoid still has not placed that, wait, no, he has. He placed in the top lane. Sorry about that. So he does have the Zizarot portal in the top lane to pressure the top lane. He's going to split push the bot lane while that split pushes the top. So looking at the vision contention here.
Whoa.
And of course, lands on Milkshake. There's a Stranglethorn's flash forced out of Shiny Pantsuit. Or no, that wasn't even it was not Shiny Pantsuit, it was Black Belt. Sorry about that. Shiny Pantsuit actually is now in his base. And of course, on the Blakeness, he may be going down here. His passive is up, so he's going to have a little bit of time to think about his
Gosu!
But Gosu, yeah, he's going to get taken out here. I'm still confused. He is not playing Katarina like he should be playing Katarina. It's like he wants to get killed so bad that he's just putting himself in a bad position.
Oh man, not a good engage there at all from Gosu. Really, really odd, as you said there. Really strange and straight up stupid attempt there. He got way too greedy, way overstepped, did not respect the impale whatsoever. And I mean, this was a risk with the Skarner getting through again. I don't know. I feel like Octavia had a good enough performance on it last game to maybe warrant a bit more of a change up in bans. I don't know about the Nasus ban, honestly. I'm still curious about that. I'm wondering if that is something that Jack plays? Is AP Nasus going to rear its head in here in Learning 5s? AP Nasus mid of all things, or is that...
somebody who plays AP Nasus? It's a thing. I mean, it is.
Hold
on, let's actually talk about that because it is a thing that, I mean, there is a reason why they're banning Nasus. I couldn't imagine it's an AP Nasus, but at the same time, if it is, it honestly is a little bit underestimated. There is quite a bit of burst when you're against a squishy team, but we won't know that. And I'm speaking totally optimistically.
Yeah.
This is almost illogical speaking on speaking terms right here because AP Nasus is not something you take into competitive competition in a 5v5 pre-made. But at the same, exactly. But at the same time, there is a reason why they're banning it. You have yet to see that. I want to see why. I want to see it go through. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next game. We're guaranteed at least one more game after this one.
Yep.
Dragon Beam started by 404. Coach not found. Blake was
coming in.
somewhat by himself here. He can't get the steal here from Octavian Medley. There's actually, no, the dragon does go over, the third dragon does go over to 404, but it's highly irrelevant. Gosu, once again, diving in too much, but finally able to help out get a kill somehow. And this is actually going in the favor of 404. Blakeness, how did he get a triple kill? He's a Zac. He doesn't have any AP, but he has a triple kill out of that. Over Void, Shiny Pantsuit, and Black Belt Jack all go down.
Whoa.
Well.
Okay.
And now let's trade it back. So it's actually 2 for 3 now, but the dragon did go over to 404. Coach not found. And they are going to rotate to this turret. Bottom inner turret is going to be their main focus now.
Yeah, and they also have Milkshake Mac on their mid inner, so they were attempting to go for, again, their super efficient win the fight, get as many objectives as you possibly can sort of strategy. Didn't work out quite as well as it has in the past this time. But Blakeness will still get out of here. I feel like MiIRL is not much of a threat at this point. Yeah, can't stop the elastic swing shot. He will get out cleanly in the end. And that is still a tier 2 picked up. They got the dragon and the fight. So everything going the way of 404 Coach not found once again.
I mean, yeah, that's a loose term. I don't know. I mean, that team fight was very widespread. I did see Hayam Gosu once again dive in. I mean, yeah, objective-wise, they are getting the job done, but at the same time, their snowballing champion is not snowballing at all. In fact, the kills just went on to Blakeness. While that's nice that he got a triple kill, got 3 kills, at the same time, his kills would have been great on a 0-1-6 Twitch. You have to wonder what those kills are really going to do for Blakeness. It'll make him a bigger tank. But I mean, you have Hayam Gosu just kind of floundering with the Dark Seal.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how it turns out. A little misplacement of barrels there.
Whoops.
but yeah, we'll see how it turns out, because so far the game is not lost for Team Gosu. They are down on objectives, but I still think they have the team fight potential here.
Oh yeah, they definitely do. If Milkshake Mac, Hayam Gosu, or Black Venom get their endgame fantasy sort of team fight, any one of them, then they solo carry the fight. That's just how these champions work. Again, it's an incredibly large risk by not having more than one tank, but actually, hold that thought. Here's Blakeness.
Yeah, but he's
Okay.
just...
All right.
He's gonna say, all right, see ya. I got my ultimate. Hold on. Now in the mid lane, though, Blackjack, he has to flash away. Milkshake Mac barely missing the seer. He's stunned down, so some flashes blown.
I'm a little bit concerned every time Gosu shows up near a fight now.
I know. I'm just like totally paranoid. I was like, please don't do this, bro. And then he does it, bro. But Blakeness now has a GA, which means he has 3 ways of not dying. Or, I'm sorry, 2 ways of not dying. This is they're gonna have to focus a whole lot on Blakeness, or else he is going to just be a massive CC bot in these team fights.
Yeah, and I mean that is all the Zac needs to do in this comp. I will say, if nothing else, I'm glad that Hayam Gosu did pick Cat instead of Yasuo, because I feel like this would be kind of disastrous for Yasuo, maybe even worse. Since the DPS and the mobility isn't there nearly as much for Yasuo as it is for Cat with her changes. Black Venom looking to solo kill Overvoid here.
Yeah, he's gonna try here. He might actually be able to do it. Cannon Barrage coming out. He's gonna go back onto the Black Venom. He does get the kill onto that one. So solo he did with that Triforce and the armor penetration from Lord Dominic's Regard. Enough to get the job done. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the mid lane turret does go down. So, I mean, they might just be having fun with Hayam Gosu might just be having fun with the Katarina, thinking, all right, well, they're not really winning off of kills. This whole series has been strictly objective controlled. So, if I snowball, cool. If not, you guys got me, right? And so far they do.
And in solo queue terms, they go back to kills versus objectives again. They're technically losing in a solo queue game here. This would be the time for them to surrender. They're down 2 kills, you know.
And he never surrendered. Oh my god.
5,000
fives.
5,000 gold and 3 dragons up though. They have vision control. They have wave pressure. They're getting turrets without getting kills. They don't need the picks to get the turrets anymore. At this point, they just got the mid turret versus the Victor. They didn't care at all. And they're just going to be able to continue doing that. 1 minute on the Dragon. It's another Ocean Drake. So this is just going to be so much sustain. If we look right now, it's already 2 Mountain Drakes and an Ocean. So the objective taking potential for 404 is incredible right now. 20% bonus true damage. And the sustain is just going to be crazy too. So dancing around these objectives while also melting them is definitely going to be something in their wheelhouse. And that's completely disregarding the fact that they have a constantly critting Gangplank and a constantly critting Twitch that will also melt objectives just by default anyway. So Mountain Drake is just gravy here, and Overvoid maybe overstepping a bit, but oh, there's a catch mid.
Yeah, there is a catch from the IRL. Goes down. Ghost, you got it. He's got some stacks. 4 stacks on that Dark Seal. Now we're going to go over to Overvoid.
Oh man,
Cannon Barrage coming down. That might be just enough for Gosu to get back into it, but another gravity field is actually going to stop him, pull him into the middle. Gosu not able to get any more of those kills. So let's see what they do. So yeah, Dragon is up right now, like you said, second Ocean. But let's talk about this on 34 minutes. After this Dragon, it'll be Elder Drake, and if the 404 Coach Not Found can get this Dragon, that'll be 4 Drakes that they have to work with on the Elder Dragon, which means that's just more pressure on Team Ghosted, as they have another objective that they desperately cannot give up, and that's the Dragon. And then, yeah, now they have a sustain, they have the turret pushing power. Huge swing of power in favor of 404.
At this point, the longer this game goes on, now, okay, 404. Before I get to that point, 404 does have a chance to throw still, for sure. But it's going to be hard at 5,000 at a 5,000 gold lead with so many objectives up. There's a lot of free money just kind of sitting there, waiting for Ghosted to pick up at any given time, really. But they're just not able to do it until they get picks. If they just try to play safe and they don't go for engages and they just give up objective after objective, they're going to lose. At this point, they're going to get crushed in 6 minutes. The Baron is up now. If they get that, then that might even be the loss on it in itself. But at this point, if they can't give up another Dragon, as you said, because there's so much pressure with all the Elemental Drakes. Here's an engage in the jungle. Might be a bit of an overstep, but I don't know.
That was a little bit of a step, and now Octavia Melody. Actually, nice use of the exploding flower, getting out of harm's way. And now, Gosu, is he going to take off finally? He gets 1 kill, he gets a double kill. Here's the resets. He's going to try to get back in, or he's going to go on the outside. A little low on health, so he's trying to get back 2 for 0 right now. But now, looks like Black Venom going to be going down as well. Blakeness, he still has a GA on, so can't really focus on too much. Gosu, I'm watching him so hard. I know he wants to do something. It's like you almost feel his energy off of his screen, off of the rift, saying he wants to do something. He's like tingling, but chose the better option that time. Decided not to go in on the big tank of Octavia Melody. And now that was a 1 for 2. The kills are even, but the game's still in favor of 404 Coach Not Found.
And I'm really loving how close these games have become now. The last game was dead even up until like the last minutes of it, and back and forth constantly. This game is much more securely in the hands of 404, it seems like, but there's still a decent fight being put up. They're still not able to just completely just mash all their buttons and just shut down Team Ghosted entirely. They're not at that point yet, somehow, even though they have a 6,000 gold lead at this point. They're going to be losing a bit of their vision control here. A lot of their deep vision is going to get swept away, and they're actually completely lacking on wards now. Those will be replenished, and that will be fixed up in the coming seconds and minute or so, especially with this Elder coming up soon. I mean, they're still going to need to pressure around the Baron until the Elder comes up, though. So all of the vision will still be focused topside, and control wards and regular wards will still be constantly cleared out here. This is a solo bit of clearing coming through from KDR at the moment, though. So it's really close here. If these wards survive, it's so risky that this could be another 50-50. It's such a huge risk for both of these teams because both of these junglers have had very secure smites so far. Blakeness may be more secure than Octavia, though, with that steal earlier on the Dragon. So basically, not a great track record so far from Octavia this game in particular with the smites. So them going for Dragon without killing Blakeness is a massive, massive risk, and that's definitely something they want to take care of as quickly as possible. You want to take as few risks and minimize the 50-50s as much as you possibly can, because that can be how you lose games. And at this point, they're already behind. They can't afford to do that. Milkshake Mac.
Milkshake Mac is caught and dead. Me IRL. He's a support, but he is a powerful one at that with a Haunting Guise and a Rylai's Crystal Scepter. He goes down. But alternatively, in the bot lane, they're looking to do the same thing to Black Venom. And it looks like it is going to work. Black Belt Jack picks up that kill. So 1 for 1 on opposite sides of the map. We'll see which ones equates to more. Looks like they are, Team Ghosted are finally going to be able to get that bot lane turret. They only have 1 turret this entire game in 38 minutes. Trying to make it a 2-turret game now. They do get that one. A lot of vision being given over to Baron for them as well. Blakeness is there, and you were talking about taking out Blakeness. How do you do that? He has a massive amount of health. He has a GA. He has his Zelda vision. Here comes Curtain Call. Shiny Pantsu. Just doing it, I believe, to get some vision out. Maybe clear some waves a little bit too in the back lines. But now, Gosu, that's what you're looking for. Now he's going to go over, get a double kill onto me IRL. He's at that point. He can do this. Looking for a triple kill. Are they going to be able to give it to him? Octavia Melody, he is going to be CC'd in the zone there. Actually, that's not a triple kill. It was a delayed triple kill, though. And now 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. Gosu is finally getting to the point where he wants to go. And that might be Baron 4-4-4. In fact, yeah, it is. Teleport coming in. It'd be stupid for them not to get that Baron.
It might even be impossible for them to not take this Baron here, honestly. The commitment down bottom just ended up being a little bit too much for too long in the end, and they lost hold of the objective that they were supposed to pick up with those picks. Those picks were great. Those picks were amazing, unseen from Ghosted up until this point, but they just, again, committed a little bit too much. They had a member down bottom, a really big carry in this Victor with no teleport. There's no way that he can get up to that Baron in time. And when those 3 picks came through, immediately back. You just drop it. Even if you don't get the tier 2 turret, you at least need to be there to attempt to contest the Baron, in my opinion. And it just didn't work out for them. They didn't break out fast enough. Here's Engage.
Gosu is looking for some kills. He's getting 2 of them so far. Double kill. He's on the Stinger now. He is not going to die from this time around because the damage was already destroyed before he got CC'd. And now Black Venom is going to help him take down Octavia Melody as well. So huge play, huge opportunity for Coach Not Found. I actually thought it was going to go in the favor of Team Ghost because Blakeness had to launch himself out, but decided to take advantage of the cannon barrage and the chaos that happened, and it looks like they may just end this game.
I mean, there was quite a lot. It wasn't a lot of big stuff, but there were a few spells, a few small spells, and autos thrown onto Blakeness to try to kill him, but they just couldn't do it. Specifically with Jhin, every auto counts, and that's what allowed Gosu to really go in. The 4th shot being down meant that there was no way that that Shiny was able to get out of that. Okay, that was a little bit silly, though. Next turret fall.
Oh, yeah, the last Nexus turret does fall, but it looks like Team Ghosted are going to be able to hold out a little bit here. Milkshake Mac did not die that entire time, is actually going to make his way out. And now the GA finally popped on the Blakeness. Cell Division finally popped on the Blakeness. He is going to go down. Shutdown actually goes over to me IRL, which is fitting because he's been a pretty dominant force in this whole game, being caught out a few times, but he is a huge amount of damage. And yeah, we're seeing that finally. Blakeness going down.
This is looking really familiar again. This last game, they lost the game after they got a bunch of big objectives, nearly opened up the Nexus, and then they just lost too many members. Now this Elder Drake could be stolen away. Milkshake Mac can secure this though. still potential. Nope,
Not
not
going
going to
to.
get it. That's
Did
a
have spray and pray up, yeah.
huge loss for 404 all of a sudden.
It is,
And-
yeah, it's a loss to them, and mostly it's really not much for Team Ghosted though, because they don't have any dragons to really back it up. They have one Elder Drake now. That's it. They have nothing to really back that up, and the true damage is going to be very minimal here. So I don't think it's going to help them that much.
No, the main power of that pickup was, like you just said, denying it from 404. They were going to end the game with that otherwise, so it gives them a little bit of extra time. They can still get kills with a little bit of extra damage. KDR might be all alone now, though.
KDR is almost alone. Exhaust gets thrown down on Octavian Melody, but does eventually go down. Curtain Call coming out. Hayam Gosu goes down, but Spray and Pray in the narrows of that jungle just does huge amounts of damage. Milkshake Mac able to replenish himself with these kills. And now it's a double kill for Black Venom as well. Shiny Pantsu, he's still there. He is going to try his best to get Blakeness off of him along with Black Belt Jack, but it finally works. That was overall a 4 for 3 in favor of Team Ghosted. But man, Milkshake Mac making it out, maybe finding himself another target here.
Okay, they were worried about him backdooring there. He will not go for it, so their concerns are not necessarily completely well-founded, but another bad fight for 404. Gosu dove in too far with no backup. He could not kill the tank. He got impaled again, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Milkshake Mac got his first kill of the game finally. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, that is good.
45 minutes in, he has 1 kill. That's actually really huge. A huge disadvantage to an ADC, but he's full build anyway, so it's not like it matters, but
yeah,
that's still a very odd thing to see.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sorry,
especially on Twitch too.
Yeah,
I
didn't mean to cut off your I didn't mean to cut off your actual meaningful analysis because it was way more relevant to me. I just thought mine was interesting. Sorry about that.
Whatever. I mean, it is worth noting that Milkshake Mac has somehow not last hit a champion in all of these fights that he's had pretty good spray and pray ults in. With all of this AoE, all of this crit chance and attack speed, like, you are set up to kill a lot of people, and he's killed one person effectively. Nonetheless,
it's also worth noting that Hayam Gosu actually sold the Dark Seal last team fight. Now is full build with the Rabadon's Death Cap and in the Void Staff, so I feel like that's a much wiser choice considering how unpredictable he is with these team fights. So, hold on, KDR. This time the last fight started. KDR now has a Zanya though to last out a little bit. Shield Thorns throw down. There's a Spray and Pray as well. Going on to Shiny Pantsu. He goes down as well as Black Belt Jack. That's a huge amount of damage gone. Now it's just me IRL. The only one left alive. Beryl not able to pick him off completely. Now Milkshake Mac trying to kite as much as possible. Blakeness now in the face, trying to kite as well. Hayam Gosu, he's there now. Gets himself his own kill. And now MIRL, the only one left alive. That is going to be a game number 3 going over to 404 Coach Not Found.
Inhib respawn, a little bit inconvenient, but yeah, it will only delay the inevitable at this point. And that will be game number 3 going over to 404. That was another solid game for them. They performed really well in all of the same areas as per usual, I guess is the best way to put it. They won their bottom lane. It's a 101 CS lead for Milkshake Mac over Shiny Pantsu. Even though he only had 1 kill the entire game, he still produced a ton of damage. He still got a ton of money from all of the objectives and a lot from his farming. A lot of his build was actually just from his CS, and another really solid performance. Gosu was shaky at a lot of parts, but he pulled it together at the end, and he had a few really good fights in a row.
Yeah, incredible game, and this could be the last game. It is a best of 5. It is now 2-1 in favor of 404 Coach Not Found. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest, here with Blaster Boy. We're going to get caught up in Champion Select pretty soon. Teams are going to recuperate, reorganize, and think out some things, and there's a lot to talk about this next Champion Select, so stick around. We'll be back in just a moment.
guardian watching over me. Oh, 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 why can't you see? Got a guardian watching over me. How can I explain the fear? No longer anyone calls my name. I don't know where to go, I don't know what to see. Everyone surrounds me, I don't know who to be. Down, 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 down. My life is going round, 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 round. Oh, 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 why can't you see? Got a guardian watching over me. Oh, 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 why can't you see? Got a guardian watching over me. Watching over me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joshua Fekas Quest here with Blaster Boy, and we are into game number 4 between 404 Coach Not Found and Team Ghosted in the Learning Fives finals. It's right now 2-1 in favor of 404 Coach Not Found, so this could potentially be the last game, or Team Ghosted could bring this into the game number 5. See how, see what was it, game number 4? Sorry about that. Wait, is this game number 4?
This
I'm
is,
not bad
this
at
is
that.
game
My-
4. This is
It would
game
be-
4. They
this-
could bring
this
it to
is-
5.
Yeah, this has been 3.5 hours. My brain is kind of fried on numbers. But we were talking about AP Nasus before. He's banned out again. Not really sure if it's AP Nasus, but LeBlanc is also banned out. Katarina. So that's an interesting one. Katarina did end up going off finally in the ending there. But it took a lot of time with the way High Ghost to be playing. So
Yeah.
we're seeing these bans. Skarner banned out as well. The Rise banned out. All of these are reactionary bans, except for the Nasus and Vayne, based on the previous game. So, yeah, not going to see the Skarner. We're going to see what Octavia Melody decides to fall back on, because that has been a huge factor in Team Ghosted's success, I guess we could say.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're going to opt for the Hecarim instead, which makes sense to see the Hecarim come out again this time, because the Skarner was picked as a counter to the Hecarim initially, and that's where we really saw it come through really, really strongly. Black Venom is back on the Poppy here, so this will certainly be interesting. And like I said, the lanes are just constantly winning for 404. Seems to be the trend. Now they've got their Caitlyn back. Yeah, they got the Caitlyn back. The Caitlyn was banned in the last game, and they have their Poppy back as well. It's been picked away by Team Ghosted multiple times now. Man, we're going to see another Jhin from Shiny Pantsu. He is not relenting on this pick, and it's going to be another Karma locked in with it as well. So this is now the third time that we've seen this combination picked up by Ghosted. I can't say that I can really fault them for it. It seems really strong. I wonder what Gosu's hiding here, because last time he hovered Yasuo, it was not Yasuo, needless to say.
Well, it's obviously AP gang Blitzcrank as the
Clearly.
yes, the rocket grab and the static field, very devastating. And we have seen him on the Twisted Fate. And going into a more serious topic here, we have seen him on the Twisted Fate. It did not pan out too well for Coach Not Found, but he wasn't, he wasn't terrible on it or anything. It's just Team Ghosted just got kind of out of control in that game number 2, which is where they picked up their first win to tie it up earlier. And that was when Hayam Gosu was playing Twisted Fate. KDR is going to be locking in the Thresh. So we have the bot lane. We've seen that bot lane before, the Thresh and the Caitlyn, both on Milkshake Mac and KDR. So we know what to expect there. They're going to pressure so much in there. They have to watch out for the hooks over on the side of Team Gosu. KDR, fantastic with those hooks. And then C9 Hayam Gosu locking in the Twisted Fate.
Yeah, nice to see him fall back again onto that seemingly comfort pick. It didn't work out amazingly for them last time as they didn't win the game. But we're going to see a new pick, 2 new picks coming through. Remember Yorick Mori. Oh man, this is going to be good. I have not casted a Yorick yet somehow. I've casted, I think, Kled, Ivern, now rework Cat, rework LeBlanc. There's just so many champions that have come out since Yorick's rework. And we're going to see a Nocturne too. This is a TSM comp.
So yeah.
Double global.
Yeah, the classic paranoia from Nocturne along with the Twisted Fate ult, so you don't really see where he's coming in from. That's actually a very classic combination that I'm really anxious to see if they can pull this one off, because obviously they want to dive into Shiny Pantsu. He is going to be a very vulnerable target, and all you have is the Karma. But then again, you do have the shield from Orianna, so we're going to see how much can actually be accomplished there. You have to burst him down. And yeah, the Yorick, a wild card pick to me. I have not seen him in a long time. Even with his rework, he still isn't really a huge meta pick.
No, it's not.
Yeah, just like you, this is my first time casting him too. So we're going to go on some new territory here in the top lane.
Certainly, yeah. And it's really a shame. I feel like Yorick, post-rework, ended up in a similar boat to the minor rework on Lulu, where it just kind of is ignored. Yorick is played. His player rate tripled or quadrupled or something, and I think it's still there. So he is seen now. He exists. He's viable technically, but he's just not picked often still. And I feel like it's a real shame. He's a cool champion with a lot of potential, I think.
I mean, that's what I base champions on, their coolness.
I mean, he has a unique, he fills a unique space in League of Legends, like every champion is meant to at this point. And it's a shame to not see more players pick him up. I feel like he can fill a similar role to what the Poppy has in this series, which is just a lot of split pushing. With the Zizzarat Poppy would go Zizzarat on Yorick, and you can double down with the Maiden too. And there's just a lot of different things that you can do with the Yorick. I feel like he's a bruiser, split pusher, he has healing, he's a really good duelist. I think he can deal with this Poppy properly here, and I'm excited to see how Overvoid can deal with it, as we have not seen this matchup yet.
Yeah, I am interested to see how the Maiden plays into this one, because as we talked about, neither of us have actually seen this in competitive play yet. So
yeah,
a lot of different mechanics to go over. The Maiden is one of the most interested in. I didn't really think about the split push, but very much viable. He has a few new tricks up his sleeve that we're gonna have to probably address as they happen in the game. But speaking of that, it is delay remaining is counting down. We're at a minute 15. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest. I'm here with Blaster Boy for the finals of the Learning 5 series. We are at 2-1 right now in favor of 404. Coach Not Found. If they can pick this one up, they will win the tournament, and we'll congratulate them, of course. But of course, Team Ghosted wants to bring this all the way to the end. So stick around. We'll be right back, and we'll be on the Rift in about 50 seconds. right, we are back on the Rift for game number 4 in this best of 5 series. 4-4. Coach Not Found looking to end it here. Team Ghosted looking to take it one more game. We'll see what happens. So we have some of those wild cards we wanted to talk about. Yorick going to the top lane, facing off against the Poppy. And we also have Nocturne in the jungle. We know what to expect from a Nocturne, especially with the TF. I really like 404's idea here. We're going to see if they can execute it properly, though.
Yeah, and again, this is the 4th game in a row now. A different type of composition, a different goal, a different power spike, a different few picks at the very, very least. And I really, again, I want to emphasize, I really like that from 404 overall. Overall, they've had such huge champion diversity this series already. And Team Ghosted has had champion diversity as well, but it's much more lacking. Me IRL has only played, I think, 2 different supports so far, maybe 3.
Brandon Karma, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 different supports. Shiny Pantsu has only played the Jhin.
Yeah.
I do
does not want to go off that Jhin at all.
No, not at all. And I mean, it's not too surprising. If you're comfortable on Jhin, Jhin is strong at the moment. And he seems to understand how to build him and how to use him. It's just a matter of whether he's allowed to do his thing. It looks like it's another level 6 rush start for Blakeness, and it is actually a leash from the Poppy all the way down at Raptors. So this is a little bit of an abnormal start from what is typically considered meta against. But he keeps playing these level 6 rush champions, and he keeps going his level 6 rush jungle path. And I think that's pretty interesting. Could be something...
Oh, I wanted to point out, I think Poppy actually took some of the jungle creeps from Blakeness, because Blakeness was not level 2 when he finished that camp, and Poppy had some farm already going up to the lane, so he actually took some of they shared jungle on the Raptor camp.
I'm wondering if that was intended or not.
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Very, very interesting decision, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, what's done is done on that one. Blakeness, so he's going to be down a little bit here. I guess I'm supposing to be down a little bit, considering he had to give some of his farm XP up to Poppy. But Hook on the bot side on the Me IRL. I said they have to watch out for, although Deadly Flourish does land on the Milkshake Mac. Actually trays back some decent amount of damage, so not too bad in the bot side, as Me IRL will have plenty of biscuits to rejuvenate himself with, while Milkshake Mac only has that 1. So I think that was actually pretty good for We Are Ghosted.
Yeah, certainly a better start than they've had in these lanes so far over the series. Three games in a row, really. They kind of, I mean, they were pushed back. It looked like they were getting beaten by this duo. The brand support definitely threw a wrench into that normality for Coach Not Found. That doesn't exist this time. It was not picked, so they fall back into that same sort of cycle where they pick the karma, they get pushed back in the lane. It seems like it's constantly happening over and over now.
Yeah, 4-4 have a very tried and true tactic, and like you said, they've done it over and over. I wouldn't suspect anything less, especially when you're not changing up your bot lane from We Are Ghosted. Milkshake Mac and KDR, they know exactly what they're playing against. They've played against it 3 times now. This would be the 4th, so they're not unfamiliar with what's about to happen because they've seen it before. So, I mean, it's worked for the most part. Milkshake Mac, I feel like Milkshake Mac and KDR, they have the better mechanics. So, I mean, it's been working for them. So why not just keep at it? And it's going to deny Shiny Pantsu just a little bit more every time he gets pushed to the turret, because he has trouble. His shovel farm underneath the turret. It's been, like I said, it was the 4th time we've seen it. So pretty easy to call on that one.
I've got to say, I really like the pattern of immediate respect bans throughout this series. Milkshake Mac played Caitlyn once in game number 2, lost on it, and then it was banned in game 3. Now it's open again because they banned the Katarina away from Hayam Gosu instead. So these are 2 picks now for 404 that they've now gone back to, because the Caitlyn was opened up again for one thing, but the TF as well, something that they lost on last time they had it. They're not afraid of that, and I like the respect ban adjustments from both Ghosted and 404. Both of them have banned champions that the opponent has just recently lost on in the previous game, just out of respect. They're just, we don't want you to have this comfort champion. We beat you this time, but we're not sure we can do it again. I think that's a very interesting strategy that not a lot of teams take. Even higher level teams will sometimes get cocky with their pick ban and not respect ban until very late into the series. And they won't respect ban on a loss almost ever. And maybe that is the better decision, but I think that either way, it is interesting and kind of a unique strategy. Is now Octavia is showing down bottom, but going to get pinged out as he walks over a ward, so no jungle pressure whatsoever yet. And this Hecarim really needs to get something done before this Nocturne can get rolling, because Blakeness has been ganking so much more effectively over the series than Octavia has. So he's only one level away from hitting the point where he can do work on this Nocturne. This is very concerning for Octavia at this point.
Yeah, and I do want to point out in the top lane, that was an interesting mechanic that just happened, was that the little minions from Overvoid's Yorick launched at Black Venom, but he actually he ended up throwing up his Steadfast Presence and blocking most of them. So that's something to watch out for. That actually could mean quite a bit of difference in damage output from Override if Black Venom's able to block a lot of his damage from the minions. So that's that is very, very interesting. And look at that, he can actually get out of the wall too with his against the wall. So yeah, or heroic charge is actually technically called.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this one works out, because I think Overvoid is actually in a disadvantage here.
It's
and even
ganking
there,
bottom.
Yeah, it's another gank in the bot lane, not level 6, not able to get the full amount of that gank that he wants. So when he hits level 6 from Nocturne to hit that Paranoia. So ganking the top lane from We Are Ghosted, ganking the bot lane from 404 Coach Not Found, and both of them on the failing side there.
Yeah, neither of them working out particularly well, unfortunately. This lane still going in the favor of Milkshake Max, though. He still has a CS lead. This is, again, consistent with the themes that we've seen over the series. That's something that 404 has been very good about. They are resilient as a team. They produce a result, and they are able to stick to that result very much consistently. We see Black Venom winning top lane again. Hayam Gosu with a CS lead in mid. Milkshake Mac with the CS lead in bottom. Blakeness attempting a gank the same time that Octavia does, and I mean, just being slightly more effective. He burned 2 flashes going for that gank, while Octavia burned his own ghost and didn't get anything out of Black Venom. So,
right.
Again, just consistent themes carrying over between games. And that's also something else that's interesting.
That's nice. I love that mechanic, by the way.
It's so funny, yeah.
Yeah.
The reason that works, by the way, is Steadfast Presence actually does a very small amount of damage, but since the ghouls only have a little bit of health, they actually instantly die when they get knocked up by it. So he doesn't just prevent the jumps to him; he just outright kills the ghouls.
He kills them. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Crazy.
So
It's incredibly strong versus Yorick, I feel like.
Yeah, that's gonna really diminish the, like I said, the damage output of Overvoid's Yorick. So here comes Paranoia. There's a level 6 Nocturne, and he is going to flash over along with Chilling Smite. They may tower dive this Overvoid. He's almost there. He is down. First blood going over to Black Venom. Very nice use of the Paranoia from out of nowhere. That's what Nocturne does. That's what Blakeness likes.
I love the Nocturne buff. I've got to say, the effectiveness that Nocturne can have at only level 6 now with his ulti is incredible. Now, this is an old buff at this point. It happened, I think, early in Season 6, but he still never saw relevance through it. Not in professional play, not really anywhere, honestly. But his ult range was buffed by, I think, 500 units, almost 1,000 units even. It is so much longer now than it used to be, that there were a lot of ganks that were entirely out of reach, just barely, that were possible at level 2 or 3, that are now possible at level 1, and I think it has 4,500 to 5,000 range. at level 3 with his ulti now, so it's huge now. Here's a gank mid.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Gosu's actually going to get away. Is he within turret range? No, he's not. But the flash popped onto Black Belt Jack. Black Belt Jack did not have enough mana to throw down his ultimate, so Gosu actually stays alive during that one. Very impressive play, and keeps a hold of his summoners as well.
Yeah, incredible patience from Gosu there overall.
Yeah.
Not burning either of the summon. I would have flashed there, just because he was so close in mana to having the ultimate. Even though he didn't have it in the end, he was so close, I think. Just like within 10 mana of it, I feel like. You're just by the mana bar. Either way, incredible patience from Gosu, confidence that he can get out of there. He was holding it for the reaction. He didn't want to predict it. He wanted to react to it, because that's when you know for sure that it's going to be used effectively.
Black Venom and Overvoid still doing their duel in the top lane. Black Venom just a little bit up in CS, 11 CS right now, but he does have that first blood gold underneath his belt right now as well. Now back in the mid lane. Nice red card, just gonna slow him down.
The charge ran out for Octavia as he showed up too. That was really early.
So yeah, that's just timing. He needs to work on. He can always come back and do it again. Did not get any summoner out of Gosu. So once again, playing it cool. And Shockwave's still available for Black Belt Jack too, and that's what they were going for there, trying to repeat what happened last time. But yeah, it kind of ran out of steam a little bit on that one. But now look at Blakeness making his way into the top lane here. Overvoid. He might sense something here. Just gonna back it off and play it a little cool here, because he knows that they can't outright dive when he's full health.
Yeah, it's incredibly dangerous versus a Yorick in general, especially with how his wall works. His little circular wall that he can place, he can walk through it freely. It does have health, so you can kill it, just with a few autos, but it completely blocks you in unless you have some kind of dash to get out of it. It's like Cataclysm basically, but Yorick and his allies can freely walk through it. It's really strong for escaping from chokes or denying an engage. Really cool ability. Gosu.
Gosu. He had vision of that the entire time, so he was well prepared for that one. Again, holding on to his summoners.
And the ghost, something to take note of is Jack burned his ghost on the last gank attempt from Octavia to try to get in closer, and still got nothing from it. And Gosu, like you just said there, still not burned any summoners. Octavia has just been completely ineffective by the patience of Gosu, and just a bit of lacking, I don't know, synergy. He's lacking creativity in his gank pathing, and is making it predictable, and Gosu is just not falling for it. At this point, taking that path 3 more times is probably not going to produce a different result unless there's some lapse in judgment. They need to immediately be able to pull the trigger off of the Hecarim ult to drop the Shockwave. They need to be able to do that really quickly. Otherwise, Gosu is just never going to get caught. The damage there
just
too.
Half health them. Yeah,
punishing Octavia for Jack roaming.
Oh,
okay,
paranoid in the battle. Oh my god, Shiny Pantsu's life bar completely disappeared there. Ace in the hole, gonna clean it up. Milkshake Mac picks up that kill. Very nice gank from Blakeness. He is a 100% kill participation. Hold on. Shockwave in the mid lane, followed by a gold card. There's a flash from Gosu. They finally got it out of him. Still has the ghost though. Now it looks like going back to the bot lane. Maybe trying to dive this one here, and they do. Blakeness picking up that kill. 100% gold participation so far, and that may be the first turn of the game going down as well.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like it. 404. They're looking like it's looking like their first game all over again to some extent.
They're looking polished.
Yeah, Octavia is not being effective with his ganks, and overall, oh, hold that thought. Here's a fight top.
Oh yeah, the maiden is out in the top lane. She's just sitting there. I don't know if that's what she does, but she's just sitting there. Didn't really do too much. Black Venom's just gonna walk that one off. So let's see what the maiden actually does while 404 get the mountain drink. So it does summon the maiden, and let's see here. When you're damaging the maiden's target, well, when York damages the maiden's target, he will deal 5% of their max health as damage. So it's a little bit of additional damage, but it's not really translating into a huge advantage in the top lane for Override. As you can see, he actually gets 50 gold from taking out the maiden. And let's also point this out, this is the first item CZ Rot portal from Override, or Overvoid, sorry about that. So this is just, he's just wanting to annoy Black Venom at this point in the game.
Yeah, he really is. He just wants to AFK push. What's really cool about the Maiden is that the bonus damage applies to turrets, I believe, in some form. I think it, maybe not. Maybe that's a little bit too crazy. I don't know. The Maiden does help you push though, and every single time that the Maiden kills a creep, she will spawn another ghoul, assuming that she's not already capped. So she will always have 4 ghouls with solo pushing a lane, and you can place her down, and she can just be solo pushing that lane. Hayam Gosu now.
Pop the ghost, gets the card, gets the kill. It was even a red card, but it was enough to slow him down with the ghost.
How did he know he was there? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
That is interesting. I mean, there's no ward. Hold on, there's paranoid in the mid lane. Spell shield get up a lot. The shockwave from the Black Belt Jack. Sorry about that. Couldn't get the words out. But now Blakeness may be in some trouble. Octavia Melody is there in the mid lane now. It's a retribution kill. So mid for a jungler. A very nice spell shield from Blakeness to block the shockwave. Now, as far as how Hayam Gosu able to know that, obviously when you pop your ult, he does get the vision. Now, how he knew to pop it there, I don't know. Spider sense.
Yeah. Let's just go with that. That's the easiest way to chalk it up. I feel like he steals the red buff. He got bot tier 2. It's one death again, just like the first game.
Yeah, they're
I mean, there's only so many parallels you can draw between game 1 and game 4, but 404 are looking polished once again. They're looking strong. They're not making the same mistakes that they have in the last 2 games. They stopped messing around or something. They look to be back in form.
It's 1-5 right now in favor of 404. They are 8,000. Oh no, I'm sorry, 7,000 gold up right now. 3 turrets under their belt, and the only dragon so far, that being the Mountain Drake. So they, Shades of game number 1 have taken every objective and have not let up at all. So Milkshake Mac going to the top lane, going to look for another objective here, as the bot inner turret's already down in favor of 404. They're looking for their last outer turret to take, and they will get it. Hook onto Overvoid. That may spell death for them, although he is able to flash away, but not able to get away from a flashing retaliation. Black Venom now from Octavia Melody is there. There's a shockwave coming out from Black Belt Jack, but he gets paranoid on, and he is dead. Like, he's able to take that one out. Oh, hold on, there's another hook. He is dynamite with these hooks, and now that is 3 deaths in the top area. Team Ghost is trying to retaliate. 404 not having it, and now they're going to pick up another turret. Another hook! Hold on, they may just get another kill here. Octavia Melody gets the Hecarim ult out. Onslaught of Shadows used just to save his own life. So, another turret taken. That is huge for 404. Coach not found.
And Hai has just been pushing the mid lane this entire time too, so now they're going to rotate mid, get mid tier 2. Now, all of a sudden, they went from taking all the outer turrets to also all the inner turrets. And they're going to rotate.
Where was this team? Where was it?
I don't
what
know.
Happened between game number 1 and this one, to where game number 1 was like this, and then 2 and 3, there was like, what? It's like day and night right now. Just listen clicking at the moment, and clicking very well. They're now over 11,000 gold up in gold. Sorry, I'm losing my words here. Yeah, Overvoid. Let's stay with Blakeness. Milkshake Mac has some backup. The Maiden is not going to be help here. In fact, he's just going to contribute to the gold count over on the side of 404. My goodness. Oh, and now also Black Venom has a Zerot Portal 2 match the split push power of Overvoid.
He basically just has a more complete, better version of Overvoid's build at the moment. Overvoid seems to be going for the Sunfire second now, so it's reverse order, but Zizerot Sunfire versus Zizerot Bombies. that's going to be building into a Sunfire. Like 100%. That's the only thing that item builds into. So they're going for the same exact build, but Black Venom is just ahead. This is like ADC for like the previous like 3 or 4 years. It's just an arms race at this point.
And 4-4, Coach Not Found there, winning that arms race pretty heavily. And again, it keep harkening back to that first game, but it's been so different in game number 2 and 3. You wonder where was that? And they're bringing it back here, but it shouldn't have left in the first place. Maybe consistency is a thing. Shockwave used on Hayam Gosu. He flashes and goes out of the way. There's a gold card used. Onslaught of Shadow is actually overshot, and now he's gonna get a kill. Out of all of those resources used, C9 Hayam Gosu still gets the kill. The longest distance you will ever see. Hooks onto me IRL, getting a kill for Milkshake Mac. My goodness, and this time, out of all the hooks he did misses is the one right there across the wall, but doesn't matter, Paranoia is there. Octavian Metal, he's gonna get feared for his life as well. Go down, double kill for Blakeness, and there's once again another hook. Will it be a triple kill? It is. There's the sigil being thrown up. Cloud9 floating above Blakeness's head. My goodness, 2-14, and that is going to be a 20-minute inhibitor being taken for in favor of 4-4 Coach Not Found. And why not another hook? Because he is amazing with him. And there is another kill being taken. My goodness, Black Belt Jack going down this time. Curtain Call coming out, but the inhibitor going down. That 4th shot for the crit, not even going to do anything. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Milkshake Mac is split pushing. My goodness.
What do you do against a team that plays like this? Like
20 minutes.
As a stat
solo queue.
update, 7 minutes ago, it was 5-1. Now it's 15-2. There were no turrets taken 7 minutes ago. Now there's been 8. Or maybe there was 1. Either way, there's either been 7 or 8 turrets taken in the last 7 minutes. This is an incredible game once again from 404. They can't get away from these hooks. They can't escape the pick potential of this comp.
You know, not even enough time to really call it. Yeah, Paranoia coming out, that's an instant kill. Anytime Paranoia comes out, you know someone is going to die.
The Maiden doing work though.
Yeah, Maiden's a team player. Overvoid trying to do what he can here, but there's only so much a 0-4-0 York with only one complete item can do.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the Maiden, by the way, is that she doesn't do a lot of the damage. Most of Yorick's damage still comes from his ghouls.
Yeah.
So the Maiden just spawns 3 or 4 ghouls instantly, depending on the ultimate level, and then continues spawning ghouls for every single minion it kills too. So a lot of the damage that we saw there, the damage
around those ghouls are just useless.
Yeah. The damage amp that we see applied is all from the Maiden, but the actual damage itself is either coming from Yorick or the ghouls, and that's what we saw nearly result in the death of Hayam Gosu there, and he just barely got away from 2 ghouls chasing him down. Something else to note about the ghouls is that they do have a limited range. They can't chase you forever. They die instantly if they get a certain distance away from either Yorick or the Maiden. So they're not able to just chase you infinitely across the map like maybe the old ones were able to. But they don't decay health either, so you have to kill them if you need to stay in the range of Yorick or he's chasing you down.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen a Z-Rod versus Z-Rod here. Oh, Paranoia coming out, and yeah, Shiny Pantsuit, he's deleted. Might as well not even be on the map. He's 0-6-0 right now. He's having a very rough time. Gold card on Octavian Melody. Shockwave missing. All sorts of miscommunication malfunctions coming out on the side of the Ghosted. And this is going to be 4-4, slowly wrapping this one up. The Nexus tails are being taken right now, and there's another kill going over to Hayam Gosu. Hook landed onto Overvoid, because why not make it a clean ace? That is 4-4. Coach Not Found. They take their game number 3. This is actually game number 4. They take it for 3 points. They are going to be the winners of the Learning 5's tournament.
Imagine if they had a real coach. That's all I've got for that.
No, that was really good. I actually couldn't unmute my mic because the game was loading out and I can't do it with anything, but I was laughing,
Nice.
trust me. I
Okay.
really was.
All right.
Validation.
Oh man, that was a 2-kill game for Team Ghosted.
Yeah,
There's
that
only
was
so many ways you can slice it. 23 and a half minutes, no objectives, only 2 kills. Incredible performance from 404. If they had done that 3 games in a row, there would have been absolutely no disputing. And they did show signs of weakness, and Team Ghosted definitely fought hard. But
yeah, and even the second game that 404 won, they still showed that they could have been beaten
Oh,
at
yeah.
any time in that game.
oh yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm saying. Like the game number 1 and 4, that was a dominant 404 coach not found. Not even the date night. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, just crazy series. But I think we've spent enough time talking about that series, guys. So
that's right.
For right now, we are going to go to a quick break. Fekes, I want to thank you real quick for casting with me. You are free to hop out. We have some interviews to close it out, as one of the teams did request these beforehand. So yeah, thank you for casting with me. It was a lot of fun.
It was amazing. Yeah, thank you for having me. These games were great. No matter how the games went, they were fantastic to cast. And thank you very much.
Yeah.
And thanks for everyone in the chat for not taking a big crap on me the entire time. I really appreciate that. From any Twitch chat, really.
Yeah, really. I mean, any Twitch chat is a minefield in the making.
Yeah, and you guys are nice. So I'm gonna go watch Survivor Series and root for Brock Lesnar. So I'll talk to you later, man. Thank you.
All right, thanks for casting, man.
Anytime. See ya, man.
Alrighty, guys. So we are going to go to a quick break, real quick, as I said, while we wrap up with some interviews of at least one of these teams. We'll see how it all pans out. Whew, man, that was some serious. But right now, go into a break. Then we'll be back with interviews. Don't go anywhere.
Hear me?
All right, guys, welcome back. We are here with Black Venom, the top laner of the
Superstar top laner.
Superstar top laner of the victorious 404 Coach Not Found.
Yep.
All right. So, the big thing that I want to know, and you may have heard this on stream just at the end, what happened in games 2 and 3? Because in games 1 and 4, you guys looked completely like unstoppable in every single way, but 2 and 3 there was a bit of faltering. It looked like two different teams nearly.
All right. So your coach DM'd me saying gotta give them a free win, so we don't make them feel bad about themselves. They coming this far, getting 3-0 doesn't feel very good. But oh no, I think for seriously, like I think LeBlanc was just like OP. Like we should have banned it because his Victor was trash, and then we thought like because our coach told us to like banned their mid laner because he only has like 2 champ pools.
Hmm.
And then he
Okay.
pulled out the LeBlanc and he just like shit on us and we're like this. What game was game 3?
Game 3 was second to last game. The game that you narrowly won. You had pushed them for overall reference.
Do you know what we're playing?
I don't exactly recall off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Wait, hold up. Let me talk to my team because they're too pussy to come here.
Should just be able to check. Okay. All right. He hopped out for a moment. Yeah, there was a bit of calling.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
So they let me have the GP,
Yep.
right? And I'm like a GP one trick.
Okay.
And this guy only knows how to play hobby. He's like shit at every single other champion, like Trundle. Like I just solo killed him. So apparently Poppy is like really broken right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's right. Who, and the other guy, like that guy, like plays a good Jhin. Like we're thinking about banning him, but like he only plays Jhin. So like I think the Jhin had problem in the Skarner. Like I think Skarner was the other problem we had, because apparently like Skarner does a lot of damage, and then he just like ults somebody, and then we just die. Yeah, I think like Skarner just kept him in the game. That's it.
Alrighty. So, how do you guys feel about winning the tournament?
Oh yeah, it was pretty easy. You know, after they banned our coach, it was quite a struggle. So we were like, fuck this program, and we made our own room. You know, very inspirational.
Mm.
You know, our coach is not here right now because he's at a job. What a
Okay.
scrub. Who needs a job? We have league.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Black Venom. It was a great match tonight.
All right.
So thanks for the interview.
Thank you. Is this the last interview ever?
Eh,
Oh yeah. Oh
we
yeah.
tried. What's up?
Oh shit. Wait. What? Chill. Wait. What do you mean? You told me to give it. I wrote a page because after you fired my coach, I was pretty salty because he was right there. So, what did that happen? Why did you fire my coach, last boy?
I didn't fire anyone's coach.
Why did Companion fire my coach? She's the head coordinator, and we just won.
Yeah. Well.
Why is that? This is not fair. This is not fair, dude. This is corrupted. You know, like my coach was the best, and he's like silver 2. He's actually silver 2, and the other guy's coach is like diamond, and he was useless. And our coach just like coached us, so I think he was unfairly banned.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. I'm gonna cut you off there.
Alright.
Good matches tonight. Congratulations.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Uh, that was not the response I was expecting. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, on that note, guys, sorry to make it so sour, but thank you all so much for watching. Congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to Team 404, Coach Not Found, for winning the show match tonight. Congratulations to Team Ghosted for making it this far and putting up one heck of a fight and a fantastic series. Apologies again for that sort of botched interview, but guys, we are going to be back coming up within the next week at some point or another. We have two more big finals coming up. We have the silver and gold NA bracket that will be having their finals sometime this week or possibly next weekend, and we still have the European finals to get to yet. So do not keep an eye on your program info, keep an eye on our Twitter, so that you can keep up with everything that's happening with the program in the future. So I want to thank you all of you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching the stream all the way through. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the cast and everything else in between. So on that note, guys, my name is Blaster Boy. I was joined tonight by Fekes, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching one last time, and that'll be it from us tonight.